views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we are back with another one. Hashtag TBV Podcast, wherever hashtags are used. We're going to be talking Mike Tyson on Wilder's loss, and he also feels that Wilder has an opportunity to shock Tyson Fury. We have about 4 main topics to discuss today. And the second one is Amir Khan believes that he has an option to fight Errol Spence. We'll give you all those details. And then our third subject, let me see here. What is the third subject? I got to remember. I know that the fourth one is, some very tragic news coming from Anthony Yarde and his family. It seems that Anthony Yarde himself has posted on his social media that his father has passed away from the coronavirus. So definitely are gonna, talk about that, give him a 10 count, and just continue to bring you guys as much awareness when it comes to boxing and the coronavirus that we can, and touch on some other topics. Now, obviously, our third topic of conversation is going to be Teofimo Lopez and his thoughts on Gervonta Davis. He says he has no discipline, and it's starting to catch up to him. Then we have plenty of other news and notes to discuss. Jaime Munguia, Roy Jones, Kell Brook, and Terrence Crawford back with more information from yesterday's show. We did a show completely on this yesterday, but now there's some new details that have been revealed. Danny Garcia also in the news. So just a lot to talk about, and the place to be is right here. And if you want to call in absolutely free from anywhere in the world, remember, you can always do that by calling in 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation, but you must be on that $15 Skype tier, get you all those daily shows and all that Skype action. But let me head on out to New Jersey Zone. My co-host,
I'm the most brutal, most vicious, and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like my from their claws. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. Get up, son of a bitch.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What's going on, everybody? This coronavirus continues to just wreak havoc on this earth right now, man. Condolences out to Anthony Yarde and his family on the passing. And, you just never know, man. It's just hitting home, man. And it's crazy because we've been here before, man. And we're going to get through this. Boxing made it through Spanish flu. made it through World War II. We're gonna make it through this too, man. And just again, condolences to Anthony Yarde and his family.
Yeah, man, definitely. The news comes as a surprise to everyone, but Yarde took to his social media and posted, a message himself. ESPN later followed up and did a really in-depth, article on it. But let me see if I could pull up Yarde's message himself here.
Well, I'll take over while you do that and just say what's up to everybody. Yeah, man, you said it best, Doomy. It sucks, man. This thing is just every day is getting bigger and bigger and starting to affect people that, it's weird. Like if you hear situations, right? Like they're running out of water in Mexico or Syrian refugee stuff. Like all that stuff always seems like so distant to me. And a lot of times, even what happens in the U.S. seems so distant to me. Like when the recession hit, Corpus didn't, South Texas didn't feel it right away. Like there was months that went by where we were still, in relatively pretty stable economic conditions. So we always feel like the brunt of things really late, but this is like, there's no warning. It at any point it's going to hit, or it could hit someone that or at least of or whatever. And it's like you always think these people that fight or that perform or athletes, musicians, like you always think they're immune to like the bad stuff that happens to everybody else. But that's the scariest part of this thing, is that it's definitely it is not racist. It is not prejudice against, a people or a gender or sexual orientation or an economic placement. It is coming after rich, poor, everything. But obviously it's the people that weren't so well off before that are having the hardest time with this, as far as like the illness itself, but the economic devastation that's caused this country is just crazy. So I don't know, man, hopefully for the next 3 hours we could provide a little relief from that stuff. I mean, obviously talking to Anthony Yarde is a huge thing that we have to discuss, but chop up everything else too.
Yeah, sorry, I know I skipped.
So Yarde's message on his social media, Instagram, says, I'm a very private person, and to be honest, I'm still in shock, but maybe this can help people. Stay home. My dad passed away from this virus yesterday, and he was fit with no health issues. The more people go out and mingle, the longer this isolation will last, and the more it will spread. I'm not a doctor, but I do know if you stay home, you are less likely to catch it or pass it on. It's seriously not worth the risk. So that was his message, and obviously, my condolences go out to the Yarde family, to Tunde Ajayi, the trainer at Yarde, and to anyone suffering through this. Travis Kaufman is going through it right now. He tested positive. Secondary, on this topic is Manny Pacquiao testing negative, but Pacquiao took a test from South Korea that aren't FDA approved, but he is satisfied with the test. He knows the people, and he's good. He says he's not feeling any symptoms and things like that. And if he does, then he'll take the necessary steps then. But what's your guys' thoughts on Pacquiao testing negative, but with a, I guess, illegal test not approved by FDA?
No, it's not. It's not approved by the FDA. They got it from South Korea. That's what the guys are using over there, or the South Koreans. And I guess it was just, I'm thinking, a matter of just something that's quick, and I guess he put his faith in, I don't know, maybe he has advisors, right? He's a politician now that maybe gave him a push, like, hey, that's a good decision to make. Haven't heard much else about it. Like if there's, they've been faulty or anything like that. But that's what they're using in South Korea, and you want to think South Korea, takes care of its citizens, unlike the North.
Yeah, look, I'm okay with it for two reasons. One, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, what would work and what wouldn't work. And two, based on that, me being not a doctor and not knowing how it works, I do know how the FDA works. I mean, for not an expert, but I do know that they are a political, they're a political entity like anything else. These people have been bought and paid for in the past. They've approved things that were shown to be dangerous and not approved things that have, cured illnesses in other countries. The fight against AIDS, Mexico and China, and a lot of people had drugs that weren't approved by the FDA. They ended up being, the things that we use today, and these people that were dying in America couldn't get it. So I don't know. I mean, just because it's not approved by the FDA, to me, doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't work. For all intents and purposes, it could be better by retrospect.
I definitely second that. Because I'm sorry, go ahead, Doomy. I was just gonna say I second that. There's definitely some drugs on the market that are not FDA approved. That if you just Google them, check out YouTube videos on them, you get tons of people who have used them, given their opinions and reviews and results.
Well, the FDA doesn't have a history of doing the right thing for the people either, because there's plenty of things that have been approved by the FDA that are not so good. So I don't know, but like I said,
but are you comfortable with? Because you guys dancing around. I don't know if you're being political because he's a politician, but are you comfortable?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Are you comfortable with him taking a test that isn't FDA approved? He's an American fighter. Forget where he's from. Forget where he lives. He fights in America. He's going to be fighting our American televised fighters, our Errol Spence and Danny's and Thurmans. Shouldn't he be tested with a test that is FDA regulated?
Well, listen, if he is going to fight an American fighter on American soil, then he's not getting into this country without our own doctors checking him, without the people, the CDC and, everybody else that feels that he's gone through appropriate channels and done the appropriate things. As far as like right now, do I feel comfortable like with him using that and using that as the basis for being, not sick? Absolutely. I'm fine with it. But, he needs to abide by every rules where he would fight. If he's going to fight in Canada, he needs to go through those channels. And so regardless of what test he used, if he were to come to America, he's going to have to use the American standards of just getting into the country. Then once the fight's done, he's going to have to go through all those rigorous testing. So I'm absolutely okay with him doing what he's doing. If he is more than comfortable with it, and the doctors that, have more medical education than me feel like that's appropriate, then it's appropriate to me right now.
He got he got a whole bunch of them for his people in Philippines, right? He's not just gonna go out there and
I thought the article said he was supposed to get a whole bunch, but it ain't like he hasn't gone through with it just yet in terms of accepting. Wasn't it like 40,000 something like that test kits?
Well, I think they came through they made the deal. They just haven't received it yet. It's like all breaking news type stuff.
I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that Manny Pacquiao tested negative. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy that it's it's hitting home. And
come to that.
Yeah, and then anybody can get this, man. And that social distancing is it's crazy. It's very important.
I'm still waiting for that. Like
it is, man. I don't know. Are you coming down with the virus, Doomy?
Nah. I just got dry mouth. The white Brucey.
Oh, all right. Because you just sound so like numbed out. And
I got a whole bottle of water here, bro. But that white Bruce banner is like, woo.
Yeah, well, you definitely sound like you are passing out here. But yeah, man. So we actually went backwards. That was topic number 4. But I understand, with these times and what's going on. Obviously, good to update everybody. But yeah, again, condolences and blessings, prayers out to the Yarde family, man. Let's jump out to topic number 1. Mike Tyson. He, I guess, is under the belief that Wilder has a chance to shock Fury in the second or rather third fight. Did you guys see these articles that were out there on Mike? Seems like everybody used these quotes on an Instagram Live interview that he had with Fat Joe. They went live, writers seen it, and they got the writing.
Nah, it's official, man, because, we kind of had that whole picture coming, painted itself about, Mike kind of saying some things about Wilder not kind of feeling him. And, and now here is the champ, rooting for Wilder, saying that he could do it. I think he can do it. I'm on the same side as the great, philosopher and destroyer, Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. He's a hard puncher, and that's gifted. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just born with that type of power, and it was just some slight adjustments that he needed to make. He needed to learn how to fight as a smaller man. He needed to have some heavy guys in there laying on him. And, whatever he needed to make, the adjustments he needed to make from the first fight, it didn't show in the second fight, and that's what he has to do this time around. And I still believe in Wilder.
Yeah, listen, you're absolutely right. This is the kind of what's the word? I guess encouragement is what I'll use, that I like to see from former fighters, specifically former heavyweight fighters. And in this case, former black heavyweight fighters that lost and had the media turn against them and fans turn against him. It's the same thing that's going on with Deontay Wilder. And, it's tough. It's tough to get out of that mental state. Look, anybody that knows boxing knows that based on the first fight, Deontay has a shot in the third fight. Now, anybody that saw the second fight would suggest that it's going to be a tough road. That doesn't mean it's not doable. That doesn't mean it's something that can't be accomplished. And here's Mike Tyson, basically giving not just, words of encouragement to say, well, you can do it, but here he is basically giving chapters of his life, like, look, you're going to get down, you're going to think my life is over, I'm done, all this stuff that he said in the interview about the mental process and what you go through when you lose a fight. That's, I'm sure, hitting close to home with Deontay. And that, to me, is the kind of support that Deontay needs from old fighters, specifically old fighters that have never trained anyone. If you go in there and you have something that you can give him, and you think it's really, really valuable, hit him up. You know what I mean? Like, and here's the other thing. If you think it's so valuable that you should be in camp with him, then hit him up and let him know and let him make that decision. Let him say, well, that sounds like an old timer suggestion, or, oh, yeah, that's that old school boxing stuff, like whatever. Or say, oh, man, you know what? You're absolutely right. Come in. Or like, you know what? I'm going to use that one tip you gave me. You know what I mean? This doesn't have to be a media circus. This can be people connecting through the media and offering words of encouragement. Because at this point, if you Google any of these things or you go based off of Twitter and Instagram, the jury's out. Wilder's losing. He's got no chance. No one wants to see this fight. It's over. This fight shouldn't happen. And Wilder's a bad guy for making us sit through it again. But if you know boxing, and just like Tyson does, just like Foreman does, then you know that this guy's got a chance. And so he just needs his shot to prove it. And here's Mike offering some words of encouragement. Here's Mike getting into the Alexa rankings, into the Google machine, so that when you type in just that name, it's not a bunch of negative stuff being said about this guy. And I applaud Tyson for this.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Did anyone read these quotes before making a assessment of the situation?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean,
did you take it like you need more people.
I don't know if Mike Tyson is giving words of encouragement or backing Deontay Wilder. And I quote, listen, Wilder didn't fight the same fight he fought in the first fight. The first fight he fought with confidence, like he could win. The second fight he fought like he didn't have no zest, no life in him. I just don't think he was the same fighter after the first fight. He couldn't rise to the occasion. No, I don't expect a walkover by Fury. There's always a chance. Everyone always has a chance. It just depends how much they want to give into it. If Wilder wants to dedicate his life to really winning this fight, anything can happen. Wilder can still make a lot of money. He shouldn't feel sad or discouraged. He should continue to go out there and fight with a lot of zest And I'm sorry, I got to move things around. A lot of zest and confidence, Tyson says. So again, I don't know. I didn't see the advice that he's offering. I didn't see why would Mario say, oh, he should come to the gym and take his advice. I don't see any real advice there. You know what I mean? Like, he just wasn't being a total douchebag.
That's one part. You don't understand that's one part of the interview, right?
Where's the rest? Like, where's the rest of the quotes on this? Because I got two different articles with, essentially the same quotes. I gave y'all the links.
No. I'm not saying that those quotes are wrong, but he went on to talk about how mentally defeating it is, to lose a fight like that. And he went on to say a lot more stuff. I mean, it wasn't a long ass interview or anything like that. But by saying, worth of quotes.
But by explaining how mentally defeating it is, what does that mean? All he's doing expressing the depression that Wilder could be in. He's not speaking of overcoming that.
But he's also saying in the same breath that Wilder has a shot in the third fight, that it's going to be up to Wilder to dig himself out. That's how I'm taking this stuff. Perhaps as a pessimist,
way that he's saying
an optimist.
The way that he's saying it is not, it's pessimistic. Everyone has a chance, period. That's what he said. Everyone has a chance. Like, that's very vague. Come on, man. But I get it.
Here's the thing. I think you want him to say more. I think you want him to go out on the limb for your guy.
I don't want him to go out on the limb. I want him to take a stance. He's neutral right now. Nothing here. The title indicates more. The author who wrote the article gave you more of an impression that Tyson was on Wilder's side than the quotes. The quotes don't indicate that, is all I'm saying.
And you know what? That's very well said, because you know what? Maybe that did influence me. You know me. You know that I never just read quotes. I always read the article. And in this case, honestly, I read the article first, and then I went back and looked at the quotes, and then I went back and looked at the other two links I sent, which now I'm assuming you didn't get a chance to see them because they had some other quotes in there about money and stuff like that. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not part of the topic ultimately. But what I gathered is he was not necessarily on on Wilder's side, but I think that being neutral at this point is probably the best to hope for. Do you know how many people have come out and said Wilder's wasting his time? That he's got no shot against Fury. And I'm talking about like guys like Malignaggi. I'm talking about White, obviously those words are a little, twisted, but or out of context, I should say. But there are plenty of people coming out and just shitting all over this fight and shitting all over Wilder's chances. For a guy to come out and actually be neutral, it seems like a positive to me.
How much can he change though, right? Like I mentioned a couple of adjustments, but like let's get it. How long is it the fight? October, right? We might get it in October, God willing, if everything. So that gives us about it's a lot of months, right? A lot of months to prepare for this fight.
About 10, 9 or 10.
That's a lot.
From now, I thought you meant from the fight.
For
right now.
For right now. I mean, it's already guaranteed, right? It's on October 3rd. So if they were to start preparing, now,
I think I seen something. I seen an article, I think on World Boxing News, that said that the October 3rd isn't firm. That there might be a November date as well, or a November possibility.
Well, the reason why that is the case is because they don't have a venue locked down. And there are a lot of things that got pushed back. So it's not that they don't want the October 3rd date, is they might not get the October 3rd date. Okay. I'm sorry, Doomy. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I kind of lost my train of thought there. But
you were saying that,
what kind of changes? Okay. What kind of changes can he make? You know what I mean? How long does it take for, who does he have to bring in there, and for how long? I mean, what kind of strenuous regime or what difference? You know what I mean? What does he have to do, in your opinion, for him to?
I forgot who was it that we had on that said don't change anything, don't change nobody. Why are you getting rid of people? What fighter or trainer was that? It was this week.
Somebody recent, very, very recent.
They were saying that don't change anybody, don't take out. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Was it Modest? Or did Modest say? Modest said the opposite, right?
Yeah, Modest wanted George. Modest said clean house and bring in George.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I don't remember who said that, but somebody did say don't change, and I agree. At this point, that's why the whole Foreman thing, like for me, he's gonna come in and do what? What's he gonna show him? If there is anything that's gonna help Wilder, it's got to be something that can be attached to his already, matured sense of fighting ability and his skill set and his athleticism, something he already has. You're not going to turn a guy who, runs, faster than everybody else into a power guy. You're not going to turn a power guy into a guy who runs faster than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? In the sport of boxing, you're not going to take somebody who has a very distinct and very thus far successful style of fighting and then completely change it around. It's going to have to be adapted to a round that will fit Wilder's, approach going into the next fight, which at this point, it's the same thing. We all know what it is. We saw it in the first fight. If he lands, it could be over. So
he had so much more energy in the first fight. Like this second fight, man, the jokes about the armored suit that he wore, but like, what was it? What can he blame that on? What can we attach that to besides this costume excuse? You know what I'm saying? In order for us to kind of get a grip to why he looked so sluggish.
Anxiety, bro. Only anxiety zaps your energy like that.
Look,
do we give Tyson Fury his credit and maybe those shots that he took affected him more than we thought. I mean, we've always seen Wilder as a warrior. He's been against the ropes, in trouble with Luis Ortiz, and he stood there and taking shots. You know what I'm saying? You kind of never know if he's in trouble or not. He plays it off pretty good, but I think he was in trouble, man. He was in trouble.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you something for real. Like the other day on the show, I had talked about how I'm a fan of the fight game, not a fan of fighters so much anymore. But back in high school, middle school, I loved supporting a specific fighter, and then they lose, and it's like, what do you do after that? Like, what do you say? I told everybody De La Hoya was going to be the best fighter that ever walked the earth. I was 12 or 13 years old at the time, but at the same time, that's what I really believed in my heart of hearts. And then he lost, and he didn't get the decision from Trinidad. And that broke my heart as a kid. Yo, when that decision came out, I thought something had to be wrong. It was the first time in my life where something I believed so strongly just didn't add up, because I thought he won that fight at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think he was running. I thought he was being smart. But that's because I loved him. And that's the way I saw him in my eyes. So then when you're a Wilder fan and you thought he was Superman and you thought he was the best, bar none, maybe the best heavyweight of all time, and then he loses, it's like, yo. But as a fight fan sitting back, all I see is the same stuff that Fury did, but then he turned it up to a maximum amount, and then he also incorporated different approaches. And by the way, he didn't even come in the fight with that same type of approach. He changed his approach. He threw a curveball, and Wilder and that team bit. You know what I'm saying? So in my eyes, nothing needs to be done other than preparing for multiple approaches from Fury and working on trying to catch him in those approaches and in those exchanges, working out of the tie-up and not wasting, movement and not wasting energy. All those things can be done with the team they have in place. And Wilder knows that. But Wilder has to get past this mental thing of losing. Maybe he already is. We have the
who's
here.
More athletic? Who's more athletic, Wilder or Tyson Fury?
Wilder by like 1,000%. Fury's not a great athlete. He is a surprising athlete. You look at him and you think,
I don't know. I
here's
think
a
that's
fierce,
debatable,
guy.
man.
He was moving.
I don't know.
I think it's debatable because Wilder doesn't get on his toes the way that Fury gets on his toes. Wilder doesn't, you know what I mean, move around the ring the way that he's athletic in the sense that, reaction time. He did. He said, who's more athletic?
No. He didn't say who fights the more athletic fight. He said, who's the better athlete?
No, he said, who's more athletic?
We took him to the NFL. He said, who's the better athlete?
He said more, Doomy, what you said? Who's more athletic or who's the better athlete?
I mean, I don't.
That's the same question. Really.
Yeah, I was about to tell you guys. Like, you guys are arguing about the same thing.
That sounds like the same.
Okay, so you could be a better athlete, which means you can campaign in multiple sports. Being more athletic is like it has to do with agility. It has to do with movement.
Yeah, who's more athletic? Who's the better athlete?
Who's got the style you're the better, that's more athletic, I guess.
Yeah, right? Who's the better athlete? You know what I'm saying? Because when you go if you go by the eye test, you're gonna go with Wilder.
I'm really curious to hear what people would say.
Yeah, and then if
Now
you
he's
saw,
broke it
and
down.
then like Ness mentioned, if you see him in a ring, he's on his fucking toes all day.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are we supposed to do this? And then fucking Andy Snickerbar Ruiz, my man, threw us for a curve. He's out here, knocking out the model guy. So like, we don't know. We don't know who's the better athlete.
Look, all these guys are great athletes. You don't get to this level by being a great athlete. But if we're comparing great athletes against each other, then certain terms get thrown out, right? And he's like, oh, that guy's fat, blah, blah, blah. But no, these guys are athletes all around. That said, if you take these guys to an NFL combine, and that's how I interpreted the question. If you take these guys to an NFL combine and you measure, their leaps, you measure their agility, you measure their distance running, you measure, well, I don't think distance running is part of it, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? You measure their hops, everything.
Yeah,
explosiveness. Deontay Wilder wins. I think
Wilder ain't running.
Wilder smokes him.
Wilder ain't running, bro.
All I'm trying to say is that I think the better athlete, hands down. If we're going to have a contest with 5 sports, Deontay wins, and none of them are boxing, Deontay wins all 5.
He does run, and I've watched him run. They do sprints.
Yeah, they do sprints.
So that has to do with speed.
Long hauls.
Yeah, but what are you doing
but
long
that's not
hauls
part
for?
of the combine, though. I messed up. I didn't mean to say that. That's
you
not part of the combine.
230 something, 6'7". What were you doing long hauls for?
Bro, hey man, it's working.
I think it's just explosiveness, and it measures, that kind of ability.
Any coach that knows, that the sprints are for the explosiveness, and then the long runs, man, that's for the long haul. That's to build your legs for the long haul. Why you think my man be on his toes in the 12th round, jumping around? My man taking them runs up the hill too. So I don't know, man.
This
is about like doing the right thing and not
man, this is about what's the excuse. That's all the game has become ever since the loss. Like it happened with Andy and Joshua first. Once Joshua lost, everyone is like looking for the excuse. Now Wilder lost and we're looking for the excuse. Oh, what is it? What needs to be changed? What has to be done? And I think that the first rematch showed us that we just need to wait. There's nothing we can do. Because look, we thought the exact opposite of what took place. We never in a million years thought Tyson Fury was going to knock out Wilder. So, arguing, going back, it ain't going to work, man. We just going to have to wait because we don't know what Wilder's going to choose to do, what changes he's going to decide to make, when's the fight going to happen, what venue. Everything just has to play out. I think the biggest issue is sticking to the topic number one, and just debunking it. For me, I didn't receive it as, oh, finally Mike Tyson wants to be a mentor, sending loving words. Nah, I ain't receive it like that. But, I didn't receive it as the normal Mike Tyson hate towards Wilder either. But I definitely didn't.
We should have clipped it.
I definitely didn't see it in the light that people are receiving it as if he is bigging them up. And it's like, oh, Mike's saying he could win. That ain't what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know. We hear it different. It's no problem with that. It would be great to, if I should have clipped that thing, but
Champ, I think he was just giving them some some insight on what he's probably been through too.
Exactly.
But it was
sympathizing with them.
Yeah, kind of sympathizing with him, but it ain't no advice. And I'm pretty sure that it's in Mike Tyson knows what it is, man. He knows war in the ring, man. So I'm pretty sure that if he did go to his corner, he would have plenty of things to tell him. You know what I'm saying? And being as though, check it out. Look at the spin on this. And being as though that Wilder would be again the smaller guy. Tyson's always been the smaller guy, so maybe there would be some good advice there.
Yeah, and maybe Tyson knows something we don't all know. Maybe he knows that you can't get yourself out of that state with somebody. That it's got to be on you. The first step has got to be on you to get past a certain level, and then the support can help. But maybe to this point, maybe Tyson knows something we don't know, because Tyson's been in the same, not the exact same scenario, but and actually a much worse scenario, because at least Deontay Wilder lost to a guy that was already perceived to be
Tyson knows about the depression. Tyson knows about the depression. That's why, he spoke of that. about the lows, and he said, you shouldn't feel sad, you shouldn't be discouraged. And he also reminds him like, yo, don't worry, take the fight anyway because you're gonna make a lot of money. But that's what he could tell him about. But like, I mean, it's like you said, Tyson lost to like a 20 or 40 to 1 underdog. Wilder was in a competitive, minus 110 plus 120 fight.
I mean, look, the fights. I'm just excited because I think, we're living through an era where we're seeing one of those heavyweight trilogies that they don't come too often. You know what I'm saying? This is probably going to be our like Thriller and Manila type of thing, or the Frazier, fights. You know what I'm saying? And you just don't know which way it can go this time. I'm pretty sure everything's going to be real strict. I bet you the gloves is going to be checked on real crazy. Everything's going to be real crazy, right? I don't know much about the negotiations. Maybe you two guys know more about, what's going on behind the scenes.
Nothing happening yet, man. It's 60-40 Tyson's way whenever it does happen. But what's your guys' thoughts? Iron Sal in the chat says Wilder needs to do more than just the 1, 2, 3. We could see that a mile away. I mean, that's what's been effective for 40-something fights. The 3 was definitely effective when he dropped Fury in the last fight. Some say that's what woke Fury up. But the hook has been effective. He knocked Malik Scott out with the hook. Does he need to do more than 1, 2, 3?
Pretty much. I mean, look, a 1, 2, 3. If you really in the circles in boxing in the gym, the guys that know more than just the 1, 2, 3, right? They'll tell you that's basic, man. That's a basic fighter. You're coming at me with the regular 1, 2, 3. I know how to handle you pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because you're basic. You know what I'm saying? What I see Fury, much more advanced in the ring than Wilder is that. He's more like a pop you here, pop you there. He's just all over the place. You know what I'm saying, with these shots. And Wilder's just high guard and kind of walking you down or trying to look for that one right hand. And it's just not going to be enough anymore. It's not going to be enough.
Listen, I hear where Sal's coming from, and is he absolutely right that just throwing that same 1, 2, 3 over and over didn't get the job done and won't get the job done? He's absolutely right. But from the basis of just those punches, I'll share something I learned, in the gym, like probably in the first 3 days, that not all jabs are jabs, not all straights are straights. A 1, 2, 3 can be delivered in many different variances. You know what I mean? And maybe some of them don't necessarily make it a combo, but using those 3 punches, I mean, look, you can throw change-ups, you know what I'm saying? You can throw them a little slower, a little faster, you know what I mean? Like, mix it up is what I think Sal's point is. And he has the tools, how to mix those up and how to deliver them, how to bring them to the fight in a manner that's going to help you win. That's the question. You know what I mean? Is he capable at this point of putting 8-punch, 6-punch, combinations together in the kind of fashion that we've seen from like a guy like Lomachenko or something? No, of course not. But that's not what we're saying. And that's not what Sal's point is either. Sal's point is that, the same thing isn't going to work. It's like you playing Street Fighter and you just keep button smashing, a couple buttons or a certain hold or a certain, move. It only worked for so long, and then when you get to that upper level, it just don't work on people like that. You can't.
I mean, I seen him having a lot of problems with the feints, every time, Fury uses.
Who's that, Wilder? Oh.
Well, yeah, Wilder was having trouble with that. They got to work on his, eye reflex.
Nah, man.
Being able to see the shots coming. Because distance.
It's
exactly,
the distance because Fury's able to get out of the way, right? So Wilder is very stationary, right? He's set up for the delivery of power. So because of that, Fury does. Remember what Coach Terrific says? Yo, keep your left hand up and use that to block the right hand. If you go back and see, that's what Fury does. He backs out with that left jab up, catching Wilder's hand. You know what I mean? So. And he's always backing out when Wilder's stepping forward. So it's about distance, really. He's going to have to change his fighting style completely. He's going to have to fight more of a Mexican style. rough Fury up, back him up, push him on the ropes, digging to the body, because just the regular 1-2, Fury's too agile for that. He's on his toes, he's jumping out, he's popping the jab. So you got to disrupt that. You got to attack him, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to trap him because you know he's good, he's slick, he'll be able to get out that corner. He's got to trap him, but he's going to have to, listen, if he never ran, he might have to run because it's going to be, to win this fight, he's going to need to throw a lot more punches. Obviously,
his punch count was low, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And that's the issue. He can no longer go into this fight thinking one punch and it's over because you need to bank those rounds in. So, again, he's going to have to get that stamina up so he could throw more punches, because I know that if he lands more, he'll probably get the knockout and the fight goes less. But at the same time, he can't sit back and wait for the perfect punch because he need to bank those rounds. He need to have those rounds in the bank come the 12th round. You never know what happens. So I would like some come forward aggression from him for real. But Iron Sal has another good comment. It's about 25 of y'all watching. You need to be hitting that thumbs up. It's an 18 thumbs up. Let's get the rest of those to match the number of people watching the show. But any final thoughts on this whole Mike Tyson and Wilder has a chance, so we can move on to topic numero dos?
I just think that right now Wilder has what it takes, and I just don't even think he should be looking at social media. If a person that really wants to help him, I'm pretty sure they have his number, or they know how to get it. I don't think, and anybody else that's going to come out of left field that wouldn't even know how to get in touch with your publicist or a friend or anything like that, then they probably weren't around from the beginning. They're just trying to ride the coattails. So I would just say block out all media. Don't listen to anything anybody's saying, and come up with a plan that you are comfortable with. That's the best we could ask for. You know what I mean? That's all we can ask for from him.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just tell it like it is, man. He was just expressing to Wilder that, it don't matter if you lose, it's how you come back. You know what I'm saying? And he can come back with a strong mentality, with hunger. If he dedicates his life, like Mike says, entirely to this fight, as did Tyson Fury, for the second fight. If he does that, he matches him with the same commitment, same dedication, and gets up at 5 a.m, goes to sleep at 8, does everything perfect. We'll see who really the better athlete is, and to see if Wilder looks sluggish again. You know what I mean? That's what really stuck out to me in the last fight. So moving forward, I would really want him to do as Mike says. Just put everything into this third trilogy.
Yes, sir. Let me just read this. That right hand did connect in the second fight. We can't overlook that fact. Fury took the power early on, but if he would have gone on later, it could have been a different story. I don't know, man. I mean, I've been watching all Wilder's fights, bro. I just never seen nobody take Wilder right hands the way that Fury take Wilder right hands. First of all, the first fight, he took them and got up. That was remarkable. Now, this fight, he took them. Didn't go down, didn't even wobble, didn't get hurt. The first fight was just incredible because he took him and got up coherent. He didn't need a sobriety test. He wasn't drunk. Most people get up and they look Bermain Stavern, Luis Ortiz, spitting, like, whoa, Curtis, they look like Curtis Stevens when they get up. You know what I'm saying? My man got up like, whoa, let's go. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So, look. Something got to give, man. It's something got to give. I don't know how that's going to happen. But I think that, letting the hands go. Punches and bunches. Punches and bunches. But let's move on to topic number 2. This is kind of interesting, man. This is where Mario's going to shine. Hopefully shine and not troll. Amir Khan, and I quote, "I can fight Errol Spence if I want." So he did an interview with FightHype.com, and in that interview, he said he has options in Abu Dhabi, options in Saudi Arabia, options with Pacquiao, and options with Spence. He said, if I want Spence, I have that option. I can fight him right now. But Manny called me. Sean Gibbons called me. I'm paraphrasing the quotes, but I'm very, very, very close. I just don't feel like pulling it up. But Mario's usually the guy who wants to quote. He could do that. But, so yeah, he's like, Sean called me, Manny called me. They want that fight. We want that fight. Plus, I got these options in Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia. So, Khan is, big pimping, spending G's, man. He just donated a huge building that he had in Pakistan to the government to use it as a hospital to fight the coronavirus. You know that he had 2 fights last year, and in one of them, he got many millions of dollars to beat up on Billy Dib. And, it's looking like he has options. So I'm going to let it go around the board one time before I decide to give you what I think his options should be.
Yeah, go ahead, Barriowski.
Let me read the... Yeah, I'll read the quote too. First of all, he was quoted in talking about the virus and that being really the main difference in when he fights, where he fights, and really who he fights. So he's definitely realistic about that. He said, "Yes, I've been keeping my eye on all the fighters. Yesterday, I got the okay that I can fight for the WBC title against Spence if I wanted." So that's the whole thing right there. Is it seems like he can position himself. I still don't know what that would mean for Spence because I don't know. I'm just going to take Amir at his word for now. If he wants that fight, pull the trigger on that fight. Do I think he should take that fight? No, not right now. I think we need to see Amir Khan in other fights before he would take that level opposition. If he were to take him right away, would I give all credit to Spence for beating Khan? Yes. No matter what you want to say about him, this is one of the best offensive fighters in the history of the sport. Probably one of the best offensive fighters we've seen in the last 25 years, at least top 5.
Well, we don't believe you.
Who would you want to fight first then? Who's a greater match, Manny or Earl? Who's more dangerous? You wouldn't want him to fight Earl, but you would Manny.
No. If I am his manager right now, I try to get him like another fight if I can with a Billy Dib type, somebody that everybody's going to shit on him first. I think Amir, we need to see him dedicated to the sport fully. And that's been a huge problem of his career. He is super talented. If you see him, he's super talented. He's just been distracted a lot. So,
why are you trying to give Khan more tune-ups? He just fought a featherweight.
Listen, I would rather him fight. I would rather him fight Amir Khan. Honestly. I would rather fight him. Fight Amir. I would rather Amir Khan fight Pacquiao right now. Honestly, I would, because in my opinion, he loses to both Spence and Pacquiao at the rate things are going right now. That said, if he were to show rededicated form of himself, he has the offensive prowess to beat both those guys easy. He could have beaten Floyd. If we would have been able to lock that fight down, he would have been a guy who probably tested Floyd more than anyone ever. I don't think he would have beat him, but he would have been one of the best. Bruh, you know what? I have these sound bites too. I'm gonna start playing them myself. No. Listen, I'm keeping it real. I'm telling you that I think Pacquiao and Spence beat him right now. But I just I don't know. I don't think he should take the fight. I would rather see him come back a little slower.
Yeah, but like who's he has options right now for big fights. I'm pretty sure Khan, he's
taking him. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, he keeps saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for something to fall on my lap." Like he has options right now. Be a perfect comeback fight with Earl. Earl, we keep talking about Earl and is he ready or is he not? And we hope he is. This would be a good test. But for some reason, I know that many would agree it's not as dangerous as a Terrence Crawford, or you know what I'm saying, or somebody of that.
I would fully disagree. I would say that Amir Khan, if everybody wants to see how Spence is, Amir Khan would be the worst fighter to do it against. That's way too tough a task. He would need somebody like a real
bro. Why do you do this to yourself?
What am I? You're telling me that Amir Khan is a good enough fight to come back from a massive car crash? What is wrong with you?
Mario, who has he beat? Who has he beat in the last 10 years?
Oh my God, bro. Every time this comes down
I'm just saying, like, for him to be a threat, he has to have done something. And in the last 10...
easy touch from Spence. And y'all think that is Amir Khan?
The fact
Amir
that
Khan.
Let me tell you something. The fact that I don't know if he's trolling or not is what bothers me. Like, I wish I knew that he was. Like, I don't know at this point because you've been doing this shit for so long. Are you insane, brother?
Bro,
I think that's the perfect.
I think you're insane to suggest that Spence's first fight back from a horrific car crash should be Amir Khan.
It shouldn't be the Amir Khan killer. I know that. So
Amir Imam, maybe.
No, I don't think
But
it should be the Amir Khan killer in Danny, who is the mandatory, which is one of our news and notes. But I do want to add that, like, I'd rather Danny not get the shot because he won't get the credit. You know what I mean? You got guys out here that think Danny isn't even a viable welterweight. So if he beats Spence off the car crash, he won't get the credit. If Khan fights Spence, no one expects Spence to win, to lose, and no one expects Khan to win because his chin just, doesn't hold up. So for Spence, it's like, yo, all I gotta do is land. You know what I mean? Plus he got no power, Khan. So it's like Spence is safe. I think that is the perfect comeback fight for Errol Spence Jr., honestly speaking, bruv.
I don't know. To me, a fight where you're coming back and we don't know we don't know what you're like physically and even mentally to come back against.
That's why you go in versus a soft puncher. That's why you go in versus a soft puncher, bro. Because
let's get it out the way.
I hear you.
Let's get it out the way. Hold on. It's the chin.
It's always been the chin.
We're not talking about the chin. It's not the chin. It's
chin and stamina. Chin and stamina.
It's defense.
Come on.
Listen, if it was the chin, so you're telling me that those shots that land on Khan would not knock out any fighter in the world? Like 90% of the shots that Amir Khan got hit with, 90% of the shots that Amir Khan has been hit with would have knocked out almost anybody. So it's not the chin, it's the defense.
Bro, so why hasn't he knocked out anyone of significance in the last 10 years?
What does that have to do with the point that he?
How do you have power? How do you have power if you ain't get a knockout in 10 years over anyone decent? Like, you can lie all you want, but the proof is in the pudding.
Yo, listen, I'm not, again, y'all, look, you're trying to put me in a box where you think that I'm saying that Amir Khan could beat Spence. That's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying that if you believe that there's issues physically with Spence or that there are mental problems based on the car crash and you want to see him in a softer touch before he steps up to the real deal of the division,
mental
Amir
problems,
Khan is the worst
who said that?
opponent. I'm making that statement myself. I'm just saying that. I'm not accusing you or anybody else. I'm just saying that because we've heard that a lot. We've heard that a lot from people that they don't think. Some people think Spence is done with his career. Some people think he'll never fight again. And so if you think that things are that serious for him, Amir Khan is not the guy.
But my name isn't Rick Ramos, so I don't believe that. So I think Errol Spence and Amir Khan, I love it.
Let's go!
I'm ready to see that fight all day.
What I'm getting from Mario is that he believes that Khan can hurt Earl.
No, Mario's always been a Amir Khan fan. That's what it is.
Class Earl.
If
Earl isn't up to the standards that we're used to seeing from him.
So you're saying the 12-round fight?
Trey in the chat says Khan versus Thurman will go 6 rounds. So you all know who's getting knocked out inside of 6.
Because it's only a 6-rounder? No, I'm just bullshitting. That was a troll. Listen,
Khan might get a 6-rounder. Khan might do a 6-rounder. That's how trolly he is.
I'm gonna ask you something, okay? And I'm not trying to put you in a box.
3 or 4.
I promise I'm not trying to trick you or trap you. I'm asking you an honest question. You cannot wait to see Spence Khan, and yet Khan still remains one of the people on Crawford's resume that you're not impressed by.
I'm just trying to get clarification. What you mean I can't wait to see it? When those words came out of my mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't say that. You just said you would accept it. That it's a good fight, right?
As a tune-up, because I don't want Danny to get Earl and then not get credit if he beats him. So as a tune-up.
As a tune-up, And that's disrespect.
He's calling on a high class.
Yo, listen, did you read the article?
Say high class, Dude, he didn't even say high class.
Yo,
did
you read the article? Did you read the article? Did y'all read the article? Like I'm doing all this research for nothing. Did y'all read the article?
Man, we read everything.
Bruh, the author thinks Khan's a tune-up. The author thinks Khan will not take the fight. The way I don't think Khan will take the fight. I'm just keeping it real, bro. You tripping, homie? I mean, I get you. It's your love for. Look, you are blinded by your admiration for Khan, and that's cool. But Khan is the perfect warm-up fight for Errol Spence. Big name. Probably could do it on pay-per-view since he had that good pay-per-view with Khan. I don't know how much. I mean, with Canelo, I don't know how much he lost doing that dud of a pay-per-view with Bud, but you know what I mean? Maybe PBC could brush him off and put some shininess back on Khan, maybe. I don't know. He got a bunch of followers.
He shot. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking he goes to Dubai, goes out there big with Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, let's just be clear. This is off a tune-up. This is a tune-up off a car crash, horrific car crash, all right? I don't want nobody calling him to my, oh, but you don't give Bud credit. You damn right. Because it wasn't no tune-up for Bud. This is a tune-up off a car crash.
I don't think he even, let's just get real. I don't think Amir even goes towards Spence.
Of course he won't. Not with
he ain't going that way.
Not with Manny Pacquiao out there.
He hitting the right on that.
Brother, we all know that. The author, me and you, the only one that don't believe that is Mario.
It's funny that Spence's two of Spence's highlights at that point would be Amir Khan and Kell Brook. That's potential. Just like the potential could be Crawford having Kell Brook and Amir Khan on his resume, and how you don't even see how much more credit you give to
that's the
Spence
reason I'm
than you
opened
would
up
give
to it.
Crawford.
That's the reason
true.
I opened up to it, because today, again, in news and notes, we'll bring it back up, or we're touching on it now in real time. Kell Brook and the Khan fight, which we touched on yesterday, continues to evolve, and now Brook said on Sky Sports this morning, their afternoon time today, that that fight is possible for the UK. Now, that shit blew my mind. It blew my mind because Lomachenko can't fight in the UK because he's ESPN contracted. Fury can't fight in the UK because he's ESPN contracted. You see where Teofimo and Shakur fighting at. Now, Shakur, let's be real. He did speak of fighting Warrington and Leeds, you know. So, I don't know. Is he ESPN only? I don't know. But we thought Bud was ESPN only. What's up with that? Now he going to the UK? What's up with that? I'm just saying. But with that same, entire statement in mind, encompassing that, saying to myself, all right, well, if Bud is going to fight this washed up Brook, well, it's okay for Earl to fight this
choppy champ.
Really? Maybe it was on your end. Mario, did you hear me fine?
Nah, you were totally choppy. That was bad. It wasn't even choppy. It kind of froze for me.
Really?
Yeah, just go ahead and repeat. You're perfect now.
Holy smokes. What was the last word?
Honestly, I didn't even hear a word you said. It just all froze for me. I didn't even hear you as choppy.
Okay. But
you were talking about the fact that
shit, Brandon said Loma fought Luke Campbell in the UK. Is that true? Because then my whole theory is wrong. Because I'm saying to myself, how is Bud going to the UK if he's an ESPN fighter, but they don't let Fury fight in the UK and he's an ESPN fighter? And I thought they didn't let Vasil fight in the UK, but he's saying that he did fight Campbell in the UK.
He fought Campbell in Greenwich, yeah. Greenwich, I think that's how you say it.
And King Nello said I sounded fine to him, so it seems like you guys froze.
Yeah, it's probably just the Skype. So look, if you go based on what he was saying, he ran into Bob and he ran into Crawford supposedly at some point. He didn't really specify when. That's kind of an issue to me because this has all happened before. And so they're saying that they're all in the same spot, that they all realize what's happening, is that Brook is what's left over at this point if there are no PBC options on the table, which there are not currently. So, yeah, but I don't know. I don't think that he would go to the UK. I don't. Not because it doesn't make sense, not because it doesn't make money, just because I don't know. I just don't see Crawford giving that up, giving
I think
perception up that the fight should happen where he wants them to.
I think I'm gonna have to disagree, man. I think that I think he does go out there. I mean, the potential to make it a huge fight out there in Sheffield. You know my man Kell Brook and his soccer clubs. It's 32,000 seater out there in Sheffield. I mean, for anything, he's fought most of his fights out there in Europe. I know they're coming out here. I think he's been out here twice, Kell Brook, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was only once, right? Didn't he just only fight Sean Porter over here?
Nah, he must have fought. I forget who he fought. He fought Luis Galarza. He fought him over there in Atlantic City. That's back in 2011. That's a while back, though. But yeah, I think that it would be good for Bud to go out there to Britain and get his shine on out there. You know what I'm saying? Being as though he's always kind of timid with the media, him just spreading out to other continents. But again, with this whole thing going on, we don't know when that would happen.
Excuse me. Ness did a really good job though of giving us a flow here, because we talk about Khan and Spence and what he can do. Then here we are talking about Kell Brook on this side with Crawford, and then we have the Garcia stuff in a little bit and the mandatories that are supposedly out there. But look, as far as Brook goes, it would make the most sense. I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm saying. Crawford Brook should happen in the UK, and that shouldn't deter the notion that you can't get a shot in the UK, Americans can't get that notion's kind of played out to me. I feel like that used to be something, maybe it still is to a degree, but with a guy like Crawford, no, we expect you to dominate that fight.
I'm just gonna keep it real right here, man.
A shot.
I'm gonna keep it real right here. You go to the UK, man, pound for pound and all this crazy shit, bro. You saying you B-side, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that they're gonna do that.
But
I don't think that they're going to give that up.
I believe that the grand scheme of things, it's worth giving up home court advantage and
for the money?
Not only the money, but the exposure, right? You're just going to get more people writing about it. It's going to be more people covering it. It's an international event now.
It's a whole nother region.
Yeah, so it'll help his brand in some way. He would have fought both guys that were supposed to fight each other. Plus Ricky Burns. He becomes a UK killer.
Yeah, and if Bob Father really thought it was a bad idea, he wouldn't allow it. Trust me. He would go out there under the discretion, and advisory of Bob. Bob is always trying to give their fighters their most comfortable situation. So, I'd see it like that.
Bro, listen, that for them to go to the UK and open that market.
I mean, it's open though.
No. What I'm trying to say is open it to Terrence. And to be that guy who's like the UK killer, that would be a great thing. But imagine if that didn't happen and the UK just started supporting him. Or they jumped on the bandwagon. Imagine it goes super well. I mean, to me, there are, two optimistic ways to look at it, and both would be huge for Crawford's career. But again, I agree with you, Ness. I just don't see them submitting to that idea of even a little bit showing that you're the B-side.
I'm going to be optimistic and say I want it to happen and simultaneously want the Errol Khan fight to happen because it's common opponents. Now, I fought the guy you fought the guy I fought. We're helping build the fight, similar to Manny Pacquiao fighting Cotto and Mayweather fighting Cotto, and Manny Pacquiao fighting Oscar and Mayweather, or rather, Mayweather fighting Oscar and Manny fighting Oscar. So it helps build the fight. So I'll take it. Again, I'm only accepting Khan for Errol because it's a tune-up. He's coming off of a horrific accident. But for Bud, you know, we understand what this is. You know, there's no one else available. So the way to make this the biggest event is to go to the UK. But I'm still going to throw it out there that if you just fight Broner, you don't even got to go to the UK. And it's a bigger event. And you get more popularity and do bigger numbers in America. You do pay-per-view numbers with American pay-per-view dollars at a bigger buy rate. I don't know, man. I don't like the Brook option as the number one option. But, you know, again, in the grand scheme of things, the way it'll play out, if Errol gets Khan and he gets Brook, I guess it works.
Here's another thing.
Look, I'm sorry, Mario.
No, go ahead, Doomy.
I'm talking about how many of us still feeling like, you know, my man Kell Brook is damaged goods. I mean, he fought.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? Who are we fighting here? Who is Terrence fighting? Sure. You know, Terrence, you know, he's been getting a lot of shit because, you know, people feel as though the fighters he's gotten are not up to par. Is this another fight that Terrence is going to take and we're going to feel like, yeah, you know what? That he wasn't up to par. He was
not
damaged.
Everybody.
He's not going to get credit.
Not everybody. You crazy?
You
crazy. There's going to be a faction of people that's going to call in and say, what? Nobody else ain't want to fight him? So, like, he gets credit.
Listen,
Plus,
what you have to
let me just add this little bit. Let me just add this little bit, and I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead,
don't lose your thought. Plus, there's always the common opponent factor where it's like he beats him better than Errol. Now the fight is in more demand.
That's exactly where I wanted to take this. Look, we are in a situation where by the time this is reality, and if they want to get it in within 2020, we could see these guys fighting in the same month, maybe even like back-to-back weeks. Like, it's a possibility. And at that point, to have the common opponents, to have these guys fighting so close to each other, this is really the opportune time. And it's been opportune, but this would give it even more luster for the fight between the two to happen. You know, hey, and maybe it even spawns a Kell Brook Amir Khan fight. That'd be great too. But you know, that's still another thing that another storyline to this that could unravel, you know, because the reality is there are going to be too many fighters with not enough dates. And so, you know, when do we see these guys fight?
I want to go to Mr. 704 who says, when's the last time Khan or Brook had a realistic chance at a title in the last 4 years? Now, I'll just correct him because Brook fought Spence 3 years ago, but in the last 3 years, yeah, neither one of them have realistically been within a title shot. And it's just a breath of fresh air to hear, you know, someone else not on the panel with the same sentiments.
Let me ask you a question, though, because you're saying that Brook is the damaged goods, right? And that, you know, the fight with him and Crawford means a little something different, which I agree. That said, though, Kell Brook, whether you want to say this or not, or whether it means the same thing to you or not, still beat the guy that you give Spence the most credit for. So, you know, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to trap you. I'm not trying to trick you or anything like that. I'm not trying to get into an argument at all.
Come on,
because I do understand
now,
where you're coming
Stop
from.
Being light.
I'm just saying that Doomy's no, I'm being honest. I promise. I'm just saying these words out loud. So that you
triangle theories don't mean nothing. So what you're saying, because
you do that all the
Sean
time,
Porter lost to Kell Brook, and you give Errol, like, I don't even get what you're saying. I give Errol credit for unifying. Okay. Something that Kell Brook never did. He took his belt and ran. Fought Jojo Dan, fought Kevin Bizier.
As long as you unify, it doesn't matter who you do it against.
I mean, are you sure you want to not say that sentence out loud again? Does it not matter who Terrence Crawford? Does it not matter?
You're trying to make this me and you. I'm not.
Mario, does it not matter who Terrence Crawford unifies versus? No, it don't, right? No, it don't.
I mean,
no, it don't. When he won the vacant title from Delorme and unified with vacant title winner Victor Postol, it didn't matter. So why all of a sudden it matters to you today?
Yeah, but see, the thing is that it not only does that not matter for you, it didn't even matter that he became undisputed for you.
Bruh, but you flipping it again. What I'm
I don't
showing
think
you
I
is
am. I think you're
no,
flipping it.
absolutely. You're saying that because Earl unified, that doesn't mean anything. And I'm telling you, but that's the basis of most Bud arguments, that he did what other people couldn't do, unifying and then being undisputed. What are you saying, dude? Like we're giving everybody credit.
I'm saying that at the end of the day, the statements that you make lead to a certain idea, and that idea is that Spence gets more credit for everything he does, and Terrence doesn't get as much credit. And I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. Again, this isn't me trying to argue with you. This is me just sharing what it sounds like when you say these things.
Brother,
I'm trying to help you.
If Crawford wants credit, he's got to fight welterweights.
Okay.
Spence is fighting welterweights, so I'm giving him credit in the welterweight division.
Better welterweights than Spence fights. Better welterweights than he has to fight better welterweights than whoever Spence fights, right?
We're discussing that we're saying we're green lighting him to fight the welterweight that Spence fought. What are you talking about?
Okay. No, that's fine then. I need to hear you say those things though. If you don't say those things,
bro, I just said it's better for him to go to the UK and fight him so it's a bigger fight for him.
But that doesn't mean the same thing. That comes down more to business. What's better for Crawford as a brand, better as Crawford as a money device.
That's all it's
but
about
not necessarily
for me.
What it means to you, boxing fans like you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm so evolved as a boxing fan that this fight means nothing to me. This fight is to get him to the next fight. And because I understand that, I want him to go to the UK. I want it to be as big as possible. So when he wins that fight, this is my ideal path for Crawford. He fights Bud in the UK. They put that shit in the arena they did, Frotch Groves. They do a good, crazy amount of tickets, He knocks out Brook so that the demand for Earl is even greater, because now it's like, yo, he knocked out the dude, that's Earl's biggest win. Nah, it's Porter. Nah, it's Brook. Nah, but it don't matter. He knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. That's what I want for him. That's what I want. Why? Because it's going to help him and his fans get that next fight that they want. But not fighting this dude in America where no one knows him, because the last time he's fought in America was in 2014. Fighting this dude on American pay-per-view ain't gonna help. Fighting him in America ain't gonna help. You know what I mean? So, I'm trying to help. Fight him over there.
And here's the thing. I get where you're going with it. I do. I understand. I've watched boxing a long time too, right? And I know that there's a difference between, commercial interest and casual interest and hardcore interest. But that's why, for you to say that Crawford, I don't want to misquote you, but you basically said that Crawford needs these fights, right? But in a lot of people's eyes, what you have to understand is that that's not the case for them, because a lot of hardcores, all the guys that we've been interviewing and have been picking Bud in the fight and have been saying how incredible Bud is, that's who we see. You know what I mean? You're absolutely right. The casual fans don't see it. They don't see it. They don't know Bud as well as they might know Earl, which I don't even know if that's really it's definitely a true statement, but to what degree, I'm not sure. But people know Bud. People know him as the guy that nobody wants to fight. I'm not saying, again, that that's true or how I see it. I'm just saying that's the perception out there, that he's the boogeyman, that no real fighters want to fight him because he's the real fighters. He's the real fight fans fighter. You know what I'm saying? So on the other side of those things, you can make that argument too.
How good is that title to have?
And not very good.
Where's it gotten him so far?
Not where he needs to be.
Where'd it get Gennady?
That is a different question.
Really?
Really? Yeah, that's a different question.
He was in the same situation, and he got his big fight. He's B-side in his big fight 3 times.
He was never locked down to an entity that refused to work with other entities.
It don't matter.
So that's why it
don't matter though. It's different. Okay, listen. It's different in the legal department, that he's not with PBC and they not with ESPN, but it's the same where no one wanted to fight him. He couldn't fight.
That's not just it, though. You were brushing over
my man.
all of the animosity between those two
I don't
entities.
want to argue different things. All I'm arguing or debating is that Gennady Golovkin could not get fights and Bud Crawford cannot get fights. That's it, bro. That's it. That's just the bottom line, and that is the truth. Sure. Peter Quillen didn't fight Gennady. Jacobs didn't fight Gennady when he wanted. Jacobs had an interim title and went into negotiation, made fucking the WBA raise their already written, like, mandatory minimum for the fight. Like, as a regular champion, you get X amount of dollars. He like, nah, if you want me to fight Gennady, you got to give me more. Like, come on, bro. People didn't want to fight him. Let's not go down that route. That's a waste of time to act like people wanted to fight him.
I'm not saying that they didn't want to fight him. I'm saying that the fights didn't take place for a multitude of reasons that not all are all the same as Crawford.
Brother, but doesn't it just boil down to that? Doesn't it just boil down to those fighters don't want to fight him? Because how many people call in, or how many fighters say I'm my own boss, or how many times I say the promoter works for the fighter. We all know that to be true. So if they really want to say, no, Al, I don't want to go with your plan. Al might fire their ass, to be honest with you. Like, all right, then, like, I'm your advisor. And if I'm advising you to do this, you don't want to do it. Okay, go do what you want, like he let Darrell do. And then Darrell had to come back. You know what I mean? But so that's on you.
I'm gonna reserve myself. Yeah, I'm going to reserve my statement for after. Well, you know what? I'm good. I hear your point. Enrique, what is up? We playing his. You got it lined up. Trying to cut enough time. Stall until we get to Enrique right now.
Believe it.
Shit.
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I saw the fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my jazz. Nice boxing voice. Because if he comes to fight, then I'm gonna have to look for him.
I saw the fight too.
I think you accurate.
Okay. Good evening.
What up? That was a mistake. Pardon me.
What's that? Ain't a lot going on out there, but you know, I'm here and yeah, we still talking Crawford versus Spence, or Spence versus Crawford versus Kell Brook, and the argument of why he should take it. A little
bit of all that, and we might as well sprinkle in the news and notes that Danny's the mandatory to Earl.
Again, you know, Terrence
WBO
Crawford,
belt, right? Ness?
WBC. WBO champion is Terrence Bud Crawford.
Terrence Bud Crawford. Yeah, man. So I'm just here. You know, I'm not gonna kill no time. I'm just gonna fill in the space and the void for all the casual fans that don't get it. Cause I'm still a little bit debacled about what's going on. Why can't we accept the Crawford versus Brook fight?
We want that.
Let's go. The package is there.
I mean, we don't want that, but like, cause
that's what it is.
I'd rather him fight Broner. I think he gets more from a Broner fight. You know, I'm still with the Broner fight. I think he gets more from America. He gets more money. He gets more popularity. You know what I mean?
I'm with you 100% on that. Yeah. Like, someone said yesterday morning or yesterday evening, the press conference will be off the hooks.
Crazy.
For Brett.
The problem might come that Broner knows how good Bud is, so he might not talk slick, and it might be a fucking dull press conference. Hopefully that ain't the case.
But
because you know how the saying goes, real recognize real, so he might not cross the line. You know
he may not cross the line, but then again, he may also approach it like, yo, they counting me out. I'm really about to go in. I want Bud Crawford's scalp. You know, he might real recognize real.
I mean, he's throwing shots in the media.
The King, hold up. The King has to knock you off your throne. And Broner believes he will probably be the A side, and he wants that throne because everybody's going to get at him on the negative side. Right? Don't let the dead airways
Doomy,
get
what you was trying to say, Doomies?
Yeah, he
My
on
bad.
me.
I was on the chat real quick because I was trying to let Enrique get his.
That's why you need your phone in your hand. You know, those tips
Nah,
I give you, they would work.
I'm on the YouTube chat. You know, I stay on the chat. You know, I shout out to the chat too. You know, I miss y'all. I'm glad to be back on there. But
oh, we live on YouTube. Okay.
Well, you know how the link is. We on Patreon though. Now, what were you saying? Yeah, AB's already thrown shots in the media. Right?
What'd he say? What'd he say?
I'm gonna have to search for it, but I said about there ain't nothing good in Ohio, not even the bud.
Yeah. That was my interview. That's old. He
saying.
needs some new shit though. That's what I'm saying. He might recognize real and be like, yo, I ain't fucking with bud, but for the right money, and that's what I'm saying. Bob needs to pay to get my man right, and this how you get him right. I know Bud versus Brook, it's all right. It'll do something, but this is a bigger fight.
So we're gonna sit here and shit on Kell Brook and not give him his credit.
No,
and shit,
no,
we're
Kell
gonna say
Brook.
the AB is
No.
Say,
Kell Brook. Listen. Kell Brook will be the tougher fight. He'll be the tougher fight. Okay. But AB will be the right marketing fight to get Terrence to that next level, man. He need that next level. He need it.
But Bob Arum is the dog godfather for a big ass reason, and he got his own plan, and that's why it's Kell Brook. I still don't understand why it's not somebody on PBC side to prove greatness, but Bob Arum wants to preserve his fighter.
Because them offers, man, them offers. First of all, Bob said, that fights with Danny, Porter, and Keith Thurman are not good. The only one that's good is Spence. And, they send bad offers, man. But listen.
Go ahead, hold up, Ness. What is Crawford's trainer name?
Crawford's trainer, Bo McIntyre. Brian Bo McIntyre.
I don't know. I saw this today on Twitter. I sent it to you. They already knew who their opponents were going to be back in February.
Hell yeah.
The tweet I saw was dated February 27th, which is 2/27, early before pre-COVID, and they were saying, and Bomac was like, they are talking about, and they meaning Fox and ESPN and Bob Arum was talking about who Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, they're trying to get Manny, but that's the bait and switch.
Danny wasn't even mentioned.
No, Enrique, that's the bait and switch, dog. That's the classic Bob Arum. Think about every promoter. They like, yeah, Canelo sent the offer to Charlo, but we about to fight Derevyanchenko. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. They talking about Pacquiao and Errol Spence, but because Errol Spence got in a car accident, that we don't want that fight right now. So it might be that other dude from what's my man name? He from another country.
Brook.
Oh yeah, Brook. Like what?
Yeah, Brook.
How you fighting him? You don't even know.
Because I think, and
I bet you he'll know Broner name. He won't say, yo, what's my man name from Cincinnati, the little short dude? Nah, he a 4-time champ. He know Broner name. Name.
Damn, slam dunk. Or we could say that was a Curry from the 3-point line. That's good
Swoosh.
One right
Yo,
there.
but I'm saying though, but like, you think that Broner is trying to look for that check, or he looking to outprice himself and shit?
He probably.
I mean, Broner's a fighter. I don't think Broner thinks he gets hurt against Crawford. I think Broner fought Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? You could go through Broner's resume. He fought dangerous fighters. And I believe that Broner would take that fight for a check and hopefully for the glory.
I think that he might outprice himself, but not in the traditional sense of the word. So please follow along with me. And I don't mean y'all, I mean the audience, right? Like, outprice himself and not in the traditional sense of the word, meaning like he does want a lot of money, but he not asking for too much money. Like they need to pay for a Broner. We know Broner's worth. Like Like people either fight Broner and go to pay-per-view or fight Broner and it is pay-per-view. So it's that simple. Mikey fought Broner, next fight pay-per-view. Pacquiao fought Broner on pay-per-view. Maidana fought Broner, next fight pay-per-view. Terrence Crawford, if you listen to Ness, it could be you. As simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Fight Broner, next fight pay-per-view because you're going to be known.
That's true. That is absolutely 100% agreed. I prefer the Adrian Broner fight right now over the Kell Brook fight. 100.
Listen, Kell Brook is going to bring the international flavor. I get it, but he ain't going to bring the American popularity, the ESPN, the Stephen A. Smith, the Skip Bell. You think Skip Bell is gonna talk about Kell Brook? Man, get the fuck out. That shit ain't making it to Skip.
Talk about Kell Brook. But one thing
Skip is with another dude now. He ain't with Smith. He ain't with Stephen A.
Nah.
Yo, hey, real quick. AB versus Kell Brook. Who you got?
Kell Brook. It ain't that AB is better, man. What don't y'all get?
I got AB.
And that's cool. It ain't that he better. It's that he's a better marketing. He's a better marketing tool.
He's a better package. He's a better package. One thing, real quick, Mario. Recently, I was reading about Bob Arum and Floyd Mayweather split. And Floyd Mayweather said one thing that's very important to what we're talking about right now, where AB, why he sought the package that he should sought after Bob Arum, if he's listening. Floyd Mayweather said that Bob Arum wasn't promoting to the African American community. Floyd became Money Floyd after that point because he said, I'm a market to my people. He then took 50 Cent into his camp. He gathered everybody. So all those people are there left open. And AB, guess what? He brings all those people. And that's the audience that Bob Arum doesn't cater to. And I think Terrence Crawford should be like, yo, I want that audience too. I think he only got a little fraction of it and he needs it. That's the hip hop audience, if you ask me. You know, baby.
What up? Listen, I agree that all right. My man's listen, I agree that Broner provides a certain marketing tool that doesn't exist with most fighters. It's just that, look, I don't want to be a stickler or anything, but a lot of, like, you say, like, oh, Manny Pacquiao, that was, pay-per-view. Yeah, that was pay-per-view. It was Manny Pacquiao was pay-per-view. You know what I mean? He went to the other side. But before that, like, he had fought Jeff Horn. It had been 3 years since he had fought anybody worth significance. Like, at the time, there were people who thought Broner had a chance. Like, all these people that are like, oh, Broner sucks. Oh, Pacquiao's great. Like, bro, they weren't saying that before that fight. I'm not saying that it was a 50-50 fight or nothing like that, but a lot of people believed in Broner. So it's tough to say what Crawford and would not bet Manny Pacquiao and Adrian Broner. It's tough to say what Crawford
he made people believe in him.
That's true.
Because I did
he
not
could do the same thing in a Crawford fight, maybe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of casuals. They're the reason that this fights get bought on pay-per-view. And so he could convince a lot of casuals. But it's just, I don't know. It's an older Broner.
Let's not. Why y'all acting like Broner ain't the 4-time champ? 4th division champ. Like,
who he won his title off?
Wait a minute. Let me.
I don't even remember who he beat other than Paulie.
That part, Doomy, because I want to know.
Yeah, because he about to just
real tough
That's ready to start guillotining me and breaking me down. But wait a minute now, like you forget that he holds power with his left hook. You forget that he's a boxer. You forget that you forget that he ain't the one that's looked upon as damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? Like, AB, man. AB is the tougher fight, man.
I mean, AB is he's 1-3 in his last 4. He beat Adrian Granados, which people thought he lost, but he beat that by split decision. He lost to Mikey.
He fought top guys.
Yeah. I'm giving you the names. He lost to Mikey.
He got
a draw with Vargas. And people thought he lost that too. And he lost to Pacquiao. But Brook ain't fought none of these dudes. Brook was supposed to fight Vargas, never did.
He fought Sean.
Brook would love to fight Pacquiao, never will. Brook would love to fight Mikey, keep dreaming. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Broner got the names. Broner got the names on this belt, and that's what you need. It's resume building time, man. But look, we spent way too much time on that. Let's just transition slightly back to Earl and Danny and the fact that he's the mandatory to the WBC now, which let me just double check because I think that puts him like in the number 1 spot in the WBO plus mandatory in the WBC, but I don't know if that's going to take him out of the WBO spot because he's mandatory in the WBC. But I remember he was number 1 in the WBO. I don't know. Has that changed?
Up. I'm here. We talking about package when we talk fighters. You know, is popularity, which is draw into the arena, into the channel. It's about payday, right? And then it's about skills. So we talking Danny Garcia being number 1 to fight Errol Spence. Big fight, in my opinion. The package. Yeah.
So Danny is still the number 1 in the WBO. I'm screen sharing it, and he's also the mandatory in the WBC. So I mean, he's in a good position.
Danny Garcia, that is.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, do you fight Terrence as the mandatory in a smaller purse? And the only reason I say smaller is because they started at 3, or do you fight Earl for 2 belts in a bigger purse because it's a 2-fight purse. I mean, a 2-belt fight, so it's more money there.
And it's Swift promotion is a real thing, right?
Of course.
All right, so then also he has that. So I would say fight Spence.
I mean,
you
want to fight Spence regardless for the 2 belts, man. It's 2 belts you control, right. You know. And I don't think he's ever unified at welterweight. He lost to Thurman, so he didn't unify.
Again, when I hear Danny's name and Spence and PBC fighters, I think about packages, you know, again, popularity, draw, and skill. So I believe you go for the PBC fighter if you Danny Garcia versus Terrence, because it's like, okay, let's do business with y'all and let's make you a bigger name off my name. Go ahead, dead air.
I'm with you, man. I can't keep beating a dead horse. You know, I'm over here trying to text Mario to let him know every time he drop out the stream, he fuck up the chat. Like it gets staticky.
But package, do me. What you think?
I mean, I'm not understanding exactly what do you mean packaging.
The package, man, you get a deal, man. If I call you up and you a fighter, right, and you also have Do Me Promotions, and I have the draw, and I have the pay, the big pay, and I also have skills, so I'm a competitive fighter that's going to make more people talk about me. That's what I mean about the package, and you joining that package.
Yeah, I mean, when you're negotiating the right way and things make sense, it becomes.
Nah, you sound blank right now. I'm talking about when we keep bringing up Terrence Crawford's best possible package because it is a fight. Each fight
is that he ain't paying attention, man. He thinking about. Man. I don't know what he's thinking about, and that's the problem. Hardcore fans need to stop thinking about the best fight. In the ring and start thinking about the best fight overall for Bud's career. But package. Let's move on, man, from that because that's like beating a dead horse.
I was just saying about Danny Garcia is a good package fight against Errol Spence with the fans and with, you know, for the fighter and the skills, the competitiveness.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, you know,
being a little airheaded there. I was going another way, but yeah, no, I get it, man. That's a great deal, and you know, it's gonna expose Crawford to all of Danny's fans. Danny's he's just, you know, social media everywhere. He's huge, so fighting a Danny would definitely even if he would lose, you know what I'm saying. For those that think that, you know, Danny would definitely beat him, he would still garner so much attention in that fight. That would be the best name.
But it's Errol Spence we talking about.
I'm talking about Crawford and Danny. Yeah, we've been jumping around that topic for too long.
Crawford and Danny. I mean, Crawford and Danny, if he decides to go the WBO route, I get it. But I mean, I thought we just decided that who would go for 1 belt when 2 belts are on the line?
Right.
Money. Right.
Exactly. No. I'm glad someone else other than me is saying it. Exactly. That's how you get a fighter to change their mind. Offer them money. Life-changing money. yo, we need his name on our resume. A fight with Danny and Bud, that's pay-per-view. You do that Madison Square Garden or you do that New York City. You could really do Madison Square Garden and Danny could really feel nostalgic on the Puerto Rican tip. You know, all the great Puerto Rican fighters fought in Madison Square Garden. But if they want to play ball and it's like, yo, look, we want this fight so bad, we're going to do it in your part of New York City where you are draw, we'll go to Brooklyn. Ain't no big deal for us to go to another borough because Manhattan and Brooklyn is right there. They should be able to, whatever, because, you know, it's really going to come down to who bids more. Does Madison Square bid more or does the Barclays bid more? Or it could be worked out in that deal. Like, look, you want us to fight Bud? Fine. We're going to fight him. We want X amount of million, and it's going to happen in the Barclays Center. And we the lead promoter, or we the lead promoter, or we the co-promoter, whatever the case may be.
But I like the legendary Madison Square Garden for that fight. Because Puerto Ricans are going to go to Madison Square Garden. Cotto was a Madison Square Garden fighter.
Yeah. And Trinidad, like all of Puerto Rico, that's what I'm saying. Puerto Rico is nostalgic. I mean, Puerto Ricans got that nostalgia for Madison Square Garden. That's why I even brought it up as an option because maybe Danny would be up to it because of that.
Yeah. Has Danny fought in the Garden?
No.
Barclay, man, all day. So I'm saying, I'm leaning more towards the Barclay. It'd be huge.
It's huge either or, man. It's still New York.
Man. They both. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure both of them hold around amount of same tickets. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, I think they're about 17,000 each or 16,500 and 17,500. It's not that much of a big difference, you know. More Madison Square Garden there is more trains that stop right there. You know, you could get there from New Jersey. You could get there from Long Island.
I hate it.
Fourth. And, you know, it'd be a great name for Terrence, if not the greatest name he would have on his resume for sure.
Who's that, Kell Brook or Danny?
Danny, if he fought Danny.
Yeah.
And Danny, it would be like, you know, give me my throne back. You know what I'm saying? If he you know, actually got the fight and he beat Terrence.
What's your prediction early?
For both guys, there's something there for both guys. There's just more for Danny in the history books if you defeat the undefeated unified welterweight champion. But like you said, if they offer him the right dough to change his mind and to go that route, that's the route he need to go.
Yeah, and see, that's why Bob Arum should be listening and he's probably ignoring as he does listen. Kell Brook, like easily, like you just said, in the history books, off the bat, people are saying they're doubting Kell Brook will be a competitive fighter. He is damaged goods. Danny Garcia, he is durable. He has fights in his pad, behind him in his resume rather. And you can actually have people, you know, the percentage would be, you know, of people picking predictions, that is, wouldn't be far apart as if it would be Kell Brook, in my opinion. I'm going to go Danny Garcia.
I don't know. I think that because Brook is from the UK, that fight will be perceived much tighter than a Danny fight. Yeah. I think fight fans perceive Brook as a more difficult fight. Like, people don't respect Danny right now. He need to get a win over Earl or Bud to earn that respect back.
You sound blasphemous right now. How is it that they respecting Kell more than Danny?
He said in the UK.
In the UK. I mean, even in the UK, like, I mean, I know the UK stands behind their own, but like,
listen, Kell Brook at least moved up and fought 354-pound fights. I know they're not the greatest names, but you know what I'm saying?
He was.
Could you picture Danny moving up?
He was looking for a payday. And
could you picture didn't he beat Sefada? Didn't he beat Sefada? Or who was it? Rabchenko? I don't even know, bro. Listen, I don't be watching my man like that. I'm just keeping it G.
Look, I'm going to say like this.
Yeah, he beat Sefada. Unanimous decision.
All right, you think Danny knocks out Sefada?
I mean, why not? Why not?
Bro, Danny's not that tall, man.
Danny's got a puncher's chance, I think.
Bro,
Danny hasn't knocked out an elite welterweight. He's knocking out 140 pounders moving
Who
up.
hit harder, Peter Quillen or Danny? Who got an iller left hook?
Peter Quillen hit harder, my man. What the fuck?
He's bigger.
So the left hook.
Why are we comparing Peter Quillen and
Because he knocked out Zafada and he trying to make some triangle theory.
I mean, I'm the Bermuda Triangle.
I see. Nah, man, listen, bro.
Isn't he a welterweight? I mean, a super middleweight or something?
He's a middleweight. Or he was a middleweight.
Listen, I don't know, man. Asking Danny to listen. Yo, look, Danny versus Brook is a tight fight. You know, even the thing is that I don't know where Brook is at, man. Can we just move on from this Brook shit until we like see him in the fight? No, honestly, it's because we don't know if he's a welterweight. We don't know how good he gonna look as a welterweight. All we could do is keep assuming, man, like what he used to look like. Like that's why I never liked that fight. I don't like that.
What was his last fight? Just to
who? Kell Brook at 54, man, with some dudes we never heard of, some weird names you gotta Google.
But he walks around as a welterweight?
As a fucking heavyweight, bro. He took like
Kell
a year
Brook
off.
fought Mark DeLuca last at junior middleweight.
Yeah, domestic level Boston dude and shit.
The UPS driver.
Nah, not the UPS driver. He's at least in like a semi-elite level camp. He trains with Hector Bermudez and Javier Fortuna, Abraham Supernova. DeLuca's in the right gym, but you know what I'm saying? He was a walk-in. When I talked to Hector, he's like, you know, he walked in. He's local from out there, you know what I'm saying? He walked in and they took him to that far. So shout out to him. He got a Kell Brook fight. Imagine you saying you want to turn pro, you turn pro, and you get to have a Kell Brook fight. You on the biggest stage of your life. Like we got to stop disrespecting fighters because like how hard would it be to stay undefeated long enough to get a Kell Brook fight? Like dudes got to respect what the fuck these dudes is doing. But
my bad. No disrespect. I wasn't meaning like a UPS driver, FedEx driver, none of that shit.
Nah, I didn't take shots personally at you. I'm just saying in general.
I'm not saying it to you. I'm just saying it out there and putting it out there, man, in the arena, you know?
Yeah, but what's next, man? Let me see. I updated this. We talking now. News and notes.
We went to your
let's go in order, man.
You did update that. Cut me off guard.
Yeah. Let's go. News and notes. Jaime Munguia in no rush for a Canelo fight or Triple G. Is that a mistake for Jaime to wait, or is it a bigger mistake for Canelo not to take him sooner or later? Kind of like the whole Floyd Canelo situation, the way Floyd did it to him. But I'll say this: I thought I seen some quotes about Jaime saying how Canelo had a bunch of haters too, right?
I mean,
follow.
Well, he said something about him not being as popular as, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was a shot on his popularity. But you know, I think that this is a smart move by Jaime Munguia because if you remember, 2018, they started already saying that he was going to be fighting Triple G or Canelo.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So they were already, I mean, some people were even saying his next fight was going to be Triple G. So they wanted to rush him, and he didn't seem like he was really, like, he didn't really care if he was rushed. And now he's coming out and saying, no, I got time. I'm the youngest out of all these cats. That's what he said in the interview, that he's younger than everybody, that he has time to wait, and that he can wait 1 to 2 years is the duration of time he gave himself to fight either Canelo or Triple G.
And I'll just piggyback that he just got with Eric Morales as a trainer. Like he needs the time to get that right. And he's only 23 years old.
But here's the thing: Triple G's getting older. Yeah, here's the thing: Triple G's. Oh, go ahead.
Big mistake, champs. Big mistake for Jaime Munguia to pass on either Canelo or Triple G. The sooner the better.
Yeah, why wasn't it a mistake? What about Caleb Plant?
Did with Floyd.
Caleb Plant
took it when it was there.
Caleb Plant just passed on it. Dervinchenko passed on it.
Are you saying that it doesn't hurt Jaime to lose to them right now? Like it won't be as big a loss?
Doesn't hurt. Did it hurt Canelo? Did it hurt Canelo to lose to Floyd?
Oh,
yeah, but why lose? But why lose?
On his way out.
Why lose when you could beat him though? Why lose when you could beat him?
Hey, but what I'm saying though, Canelo thought he could beat him. Why is it that Jaime Munguia can't say I can beat him too?
Cause he know he not ready. He been training.
Listen to me,
Bruh, hold on.
That golden ticket can sail into the sea and never return.
Listen,
the Triple G could avoid the shit out of him until he's the young fighter. He's the one who got to come hard now. He the one who got to go get it.
Hey,
man. See that?
Wait. Bruce Banner is a genius, right? So maybe Doomy just smoked that shit, became a genius, because that is real talk right there,
Doomy's thinking from his always it's the same perspective over and over, his underdog fucking perspective. Jaime's a star, and that's the problem. You know, he's not a star yet. He is a star in the making, or star potential, right? So you have to nurture that like a plant. You know what I mean? You don't just rush the nutriments into the plant. You spoon feed a little. You go in circles. You know what I mean? You give it pace. You pace your plant. You make sure not to, cause too much stress on the plant so they can grow.
The plant got to survive like the plants in the jungle. All right? So this is a Venus flytrap.
See, that's the difference.
He got a trap.
That's the difference. See, that's the difference between Jaime Munguia and Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was the fly in the jungle that Sam Lewickovich found. Jaime is not that. Jaime is being built. He's being built, and he's 23. He's 23. Yo, Triple G ain't going nowhere. He got just as long a deal as Canelo. So Jaime can wait, and DAZN still going to feed him Triple G. Because he's the future. Because he's the future of DAZN and Golden Boy. So he don't got to rush.
Yeah, look, the more he waits, the better shot he has at actually beating Canelo or Triple G. That said, though, them fighting him now, the one thing, like, Doomy made two excellent points. The one point I didn't even realize until, you started talking was that, and it also puts him in a situation where there aren't a lot of stars in that division. There aren't a lot of guys who can claim to be the next big thing. This guy ends up getting that, Canelo fight, and the shine comes off of him afterwards. He sets himself up as an A-side against guys who have far more distinguished careers than him. So I don't know. I mean, I see the point. Like, honestly, at first I was like, let him get better.
Fast.
Imagine if Canelo didn't fight Mayweather and then they fought later. Like Canelo right now fighting Mayweather, that's crazy, right? Same thing kind of with Jaime, but at the same time, I think it's going to come down to the promotion. Does the promoters think that they have a star in him, like legit, that can beat these guys?
Floyd,
like the way.
Oscar for Pernell Whitaker. Oscar for Pernell Whitaker for a world title at 24. Jaime's still young. Slow down.
Jaime Munguia can fight to the hardcores. Yes, he can fight to a casual, but star right now.
I said star in the making, star potential, star in the make. Bro, you kidding me?
He don't got the package.
Yo, a middleweight Mexican. A middleweight Mexican.
I'm trying to nurture
You're
him
bugging.
way too much. Y'all trying to baby. My man got 30 fights in the pros, bro.
Yeah.
He got time.
And how many did
I don't care. How many
did Canelo have before they let the leash off? Go ahead and check that.
My man, he 23, right? He got 35 fights. He been in some fights lately where he gets hit a lot.
Bro, he 23, got 35 fights, and Crawford's 32 with like 30-something fights, bro. It's about him learning on the job. That's why he got 30-something fights. He's been fighting in Mexico. That's why he got 30-something fights.
Yeah, what do we know if he has
the level of opposition? The level of opposition isn't the same, bro. Just because he got a certain amount of fights don't mean nothing.
I'm saying how much beating he's taking. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that Jaime Munguia may be the younger fighter and all that, and you saying that nurture him, but how much more weight can he take? This is the kind of fighter.
He just linked up. He just linked up with a trainer. Jesus Christ!
Here's the one thing that do me.
Y'all would never sign a fighter, bro.
If he fights them now, listen, he could be a star if he fights them now. But what about the opposite? What if he's not ready to the point where he gets destroyed and looks so bad that his stock starts to just plummet? Bro, it could be one of the worst mistakes that he ever made.
I don't think that happens, though, man. You think what? So you're saying that Canelo knocks out Jaime Munguia?
Oh no, bro.
Bro, Liam Smith was.
He doesn't knock him out.
Hey, are you listening? Because I don't think you get. Liam Smith was beating up Jaime, bro. Dennis Hogan was beating up Jaime, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
That Floyd was gonna, knock out Canelo?
No,
You ain't think
Floyd
that.
wasn't a knockout artist.
Bruh, yeah,
And
man.
Mexicans are known for having chins.
But you was thinking that Canelo would probably knock out Floyd, right?
That's what Mexicans was thinking.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
not only
he got me there. I'm not gonna lie. He got me there a little bit.
A little bit, but not 100%.
Not enough. Not enough.
You're saying Jaime can possibly hold the Canelo punch. He ain't gonna get James Kirkland on him.
Man, Jaime will get stopped, man. Dennis Hogan put hands on Jaime, man. Canelo one of the best combination punches in the game, man. Stop, y'all disrespectful.
Dennis
man.
Hogan, you act like Canelo never did a shaky leg. You know what I'm saying? When Cotto's brother hit him.
Back in the days,
he was young. All right, so man, listen, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yo,
he's
bro,
ready
do
for
me,
shit now.
go ahead. Throw your fighters in early, bro, so you can have no fighters.
Nah. See, the thing is, it's about the overall picture. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about he's young, and it doesn't formulate the same way every time. Everybody's different. You know, I want to know now. See, I don't know off the bat, and I'm gonna look it up. If his amateur background is extensive, is he beat up? That's what I'm saying. How much more do I want my fighter to be in there? And not get paid?
Man, you sleeping, bro.
I want him to get super paid.
You bugging, bro. He 23
Golden
years old, man. He
champ.
got hella fights. Listen, if he don't get Canelo and Triple G, he still got.
Take the money loose now and just beat everybody else's ass, but I want to hear it, man. Golden ticket.
If he don't get Canelo and Triple G, they could build him to be the A side to an Andre and a Charlo. All you gotta do is build them. All you gotta do is build them.
But you know how the Canelo camp works. They're not gonna get Jaime Munguia in his prime time. That's not the way it works, man. You gotta fight your way to that type of negotiation.
You didn't hear me. I said if he never gets the fight with Gennady and Canelo, he is still has the potential to be the A side to Andre or Charlo.
All right, so you're saying that a fight with Andre and Charlo makes more bank than Canelo?
I never said that.
No,
I said it,
he's
man.
saying
I can't repeat.
Munguia.
Bro, you need to go wash your face. Get some water in your system.
Hold up. Do me. Munguia gains a package fighting.
So he's telling
Canelo.
me that if he waits, that he's gonna be worth more. He's gonna make more money with a Charlo or Andrade than if he did right now if he took a fight with Canelo, man.
No,
that's what I'm hearing.
Bro, Canelo was given. Listen to me. Canelo was given his mandatory $5 million, right? He offered Charlo with a belt $8 million, right? Or Eddie offered Charlo with a belt $8 million for Andre. How much you think Jaime's getting with no belt, champ? Like, stop what you doing.
Oh, so the belt now, all right.
He's got no belt. He's just a B-side. Like, you want a kid to give up want a kid to give up his undefeated record for what? Like, ain't crazy.
I mean, we're the ones who are talking about him fighting Canelo. So obviously, that takes into account heavily.
Listen, if he thought he could beat him, but this is my thing. Who are we to argue that he should take the fight? He just told you, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Like, you mad? No, he got to.
Yeah, but
at least he's being
for us
honest.
To decide whether it could be a mistake or not. I mean, we can look at what we have in terms of history.
But I like his honesty. I like his honesty. I'd rather a dude tell me he's not ready versus a dude that says they want the fight but then never makes the fight happen.
He probably idolizes Canelo to say I'm not ready.
But then there are those guys like Canelo who convinced themselves they were ready when they really weren't. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't ready. They said you're gonna gain by this fight. Period. That's what they did. Because Golden Boy.
Well, it was different for Canelo. Stop using that example, bro. Canelo was going in versus a smaller dude. He probably bet on himself because he knew he was gonna rehydrate and be a bigger man. He just didn't expect to have that much of a speed difference, and for Floyd to be that great. You know what I mean? But, he should have watched. I was watching the Oscar De La Hoya Floyd fight today. He should have just watched that fight and known that it was going to be difficult because, bro, Floyd did that shit to Oscar. He did this shit to Oscar too, man. Like,
yeah,
bro, I don't know. He's a defensive wizard.
If anybody wants to make any last comments before we move on, are we good? Because I wanted to do the next note because I deleted the link and then I accidentally deleted the last part of it. So y'all don't know the whole story here.
Go for it. Because we got to open up these phone lines.
Yeah. So the reason why this is being brought up is Andre Ward was quoted into saying that Roy Jones had turned down $40 million to fight Mike Tyson back in the day after Tyson had lost to Lewis, and before Roy had lost to Tarver. So before Roy lost to Tarver, but after Tyson lost to Lewis. So I can't really remember that time frame. But yeah, Andre Ward brought this up, and the questions posed. Would it have been worth it for Roy to have fought Tyson back then? Would it have been the big fight that it seems like it would have been back then? But knowing what we know now, how great could it have been? And just so y'all know, if you've ever get a chance, if you have Apple Music, Jay Prince's his biography is on there, and he's actually reads it. He does a really good job. It's his voice and everything. He reads it, the audio version, and he talks about this. He talks about the fact that he had brought Roy and Mike Tyson to his ranch home in Houston. They were actually going to announce the fight because they eventually got them the money. They wanted $50 million each, or one of them was getting the minimum was $50 million. And what ended up happening is they were going to announce it at the Source Awards. Roy and Mike were both going to be there presenting an award together, and they were going to announce their fight then. And that was the weekend before. I mean, that would have been the weekend after Tarver and Jones, where Tarver upset the apple cart. So actually, Tarver's the reason why we never got that fight. But yeah, man, do y'all think that would have been worth it back then? Do you think Roy's nuts for turning down the $40 million in retrospect, or do you think that was the best decision considering, what's happened in these stages?
I'm confused because you said Roy turned it down, but at the same time you said Tarver's the reason we didn't get it.
Yeah. Well, he turned down the fight originally because he wanted $50 million. They ended up getting the $50 million, but Roy didn't know. What I should have said was James Prince had decided to call them after the fight and say, y'all got the $50 million. They had already agreed that they would fight for that amount, and then they were going to announce it at the Source Awards. But before he could even get to talking about the business, before he could even let them know that the money was there, Roy lost, and he said that all the backers backed out. It just wasn't going to happen anymore for that price. But Roy have taken the $40 million originally?
For me, hell yeah, he should have took it. But again, I don't remember that day and age and time, so I don't know how good Mike still was, how bad Roy was.
Said it was after the Lennox Lewis loss, right?
Yeah, after the Lennox Lewis loss and before Roy lost.
I got to go
Tarver
watch that fight again to see. I just don't know. Plus, remember back then we wasn't in boxing the way we is now. See. That and like that's why I don't really argue if it ain't on the show, because it's like being part of the sport, you get to know so many ins and outs. So like we don't know what was going on back then. We just don't know.
But I remember, man. I think Roy should have took it. I mean, if that was already after the Lennox loss, he should have took that $40 million. Let's take it back to the year.
What was the question? Should Roy take it, or would that be a super fight? Because
would that have been worth taking it? Would the $40 million would have been worth taking it for Roy, considering that what ended up happening? He didn't get paid at all. So for that fight, I'm saying.
Andre Ward say, what was his purpose of that post or that article?
Man, that was 2005 champion.
Yeah, it was in 2005. Yeah, that's when it was. So
that would have probably like one of those what they call that cash out fights for both fighters.
For sure. So would that have even an interest? I'm sure it would have interested.
I mean, I would have been interested because I mean, you just Roy was always so athletic. You just never know how it would have looked. But I would have expected Mike to just bowl over this man.
Wash him. You think so? I don't know. Maybe
didn't Ward? I mean, not Ward.
That would they
Jones
probably
had
never
like 3 heavyweight fights in him, right? Didn't he
had?
I thought it was 1-2 with Ruiz, John Ruiz.
Yeah, he fought once for that version of whatever Ruiz's title was, but I thought he had a tune-up before that, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he just jumped straight up. He beat the brakes off of Ruiz.
Damn. So I would not mind watching.
Ruiz and Tyson are very different, fighters. We got to remember that.
Hell yeah.
Even Tyson at that time.
Yo, Tyson was team like extra wide, bro. I don't know. That was gonna be issues for Roy, man.
Short, fast, but Roy Jones was fast and slick, and then that would have been a hell of a fight, and definitely
that would have been
definitely would have been pay-per-view worthy.
I think
That would've been nice to
his
have.
speed. I think his speed would have kind of helped him out with avoiding any power.
Not
You know,
for
Roy,
long, though.
I
Not
think
for long.
Roy would have hung in there, man. Roy would have hung in there. I believe so because looking back to the Holyfield fight, Holyfield speed is what gave the combination punching is what gave Mike Tyson a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. I think
but you gotta have heavyweight punching power, combination punching. How you want a middleweight combination punching Mike Tyson? He want eat those little shits up.
A 12-round decision. I mean, assuming they were going to go 12 rounds, but he could have squeaked out a. I think he definitely could have got it.
But also, let's not forget, Roy Jones had no chin.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how that dead air kicked in?
Okay,
Roy
but
Jones
see,
had no
at the
chin.
same time, I'll say that Tyson had lost every sense of himself, and I don't know, man. That version of Tyson.
I know. After Lewis, what was that? His third loss at the time already?
I think it was his second in a row.
It was probably his third or fourth because I think he lost to Buster, then twice to Evander, then Lewis, right? Or was Lewis before Evander?
Yeah,
exactly what you just said. His last two fights for sure. I know that he lost his last two. I was right. He lost to McBride. That was his last fight in 2005. He lost to Danny Williams. That was before that in 2004, 2003. He fought Clifford Etienne. I don't even know who that is, and he won a KO in the first. And then Lennox Lewis was right before that. And that was his first loss of that stretch. So he lost, retired. I think Roy could have gotten him in that time, bro. If he lost to Danny Williams, if I remember correct, I mean, we all know who Kevin McBride is, I'm sure, but let me see.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, he would have had him, man. He would have had him.
Never mind.
He was already.
Roy got knocked out by Glenn Johnson, man. My man was like 40 years old, man. Mike Tyson would have blew a kiss at fucking Roy and knocked him out, bro.
Oh, yeah, that was. See, that's what I want to see. Yo, listen, I was watching some old fights this weekend, and it was like HBO. Man, I miss HBO, bro. Like the way they did. Let me tell you, we are never. Do y'all remember those times in the corner where you would just hear a trainer start cussing and saying the most nastiest things to his fighters, and they would capture it all the time? Like, when is the last time we've had that? You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Franchon ripping her wig off was awesome, but
what he said, we get that.
Porter.
What did he say? He said lose the wig or lose the title. What did he say?
He said you want that fucking hell, you want the fucking titles.
Yeah,
on, man.
Oh, that was nasty, bro.
Then they try to put that shit back. He was like, man, get that shit out of there and threw it over the rope.
Yeah.
Threw that shit over. He took that shit off her head.
That was awesome,
bro. He took that shit off her head and threw it over the top rope, wrestling style, bitch.
That shit's controversy.
She started a whole. She started a whole movement. Shout out to Franchon Cruz Design. Started a whole movement.
And she said that people that design wigs now are like hitting her up and sending her wigs, bro. That's big time.
Let me get out to these callers, man. Let's open up these phone lines, man. I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown of the topics so y'all don't ask me what's the topics. Mike Tyson on Wilder's loss and believes that I updated this and fucked up the note right here. But Mike believes that Wilder has a chance to shock Fury. Topic 2 is Amir Khan says that he has a fight option for Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. Number 3, what the hell? I fucked this all up, bro. Oh man, I took your notes, Mario, and that was not right.
You want me to do it real quick?
Yeah, because that's not right what you sent me. What in the world?
What? Oh yeah, I messed up the third one. I had to read. Am I chopping?
Yeah, it ain't you. It's fucking Alex. Now I texted it in there, and it's like he didn't listen.
I mean, why you don't hit mute and walk away? Why all that?
He did. That's what's causing the issue.
No, yeah, that's causing it.
Walk away.
Yeah, but I'll hit mute right now and then.
No, you can't walk away. You got to get off the call. You see, I hang up on them, and then we don't have that issue. You can't just walk away. If you go into the bathroom, hang up the call. Don't be on with me.
Real quick, these are the things that we've chopped up so far. Mike Tyson talking about Wilder's loss. We discussed whether the comments that he'd made in a recent interview were in support of Wilder or completely neutral or not help at all. Amir Khan's talking about he can fight Errol Spence, that he's gotten approval from the WBC to challenge for the title, and he can take Errol if he wants to. Should he? Shouldn't he? What would that mean for Errol? 3 was Teofimo Lopez talking about Gervonta Davis and how he has no discipline. We didn't really chop that up a lot, but we definitely threw that out there. We had talked about it. And 4, of course, the sad passing of Anthony Yarde's father, who has reportedly passed away due to coronavirus complications. So our hearts are out with him. We gave him a 10 count earlier. If you want to support him and shout him out, of course you can do that. We just finished talking about Jaime Munguia saying that he's in no rush to fight Canelo or Triple G. Is that a mistake for Jaime is to wait, or is it a bigger mistake for Canelo and Triple G not to take him out now and, rather than when he gets better and later, like Floyd did to Canelo? Floyd got him early. And we just finished chopping up Roy Jones turning down $40 million to fight Mike Tyson, which was a quote coming from Andre Ward. Would that fight have been worth it? Should he have taken the $40 million originally? And also the story was in the autobiography of Jay Prince. So check that out on iTunes or wherever books are sold. We also chopped up Kell Brook saying that Crawford and he are on the same page along with Arum. He ran into him reportedly not too long ago, and they're all talking about the fight is good to go. And he's even said that there's a chance that they could fight in Britain, that they're on the same page about that should happen. Is that a mistake for Bud? Should the fight take place in Britain? And is it really even a realistic possibility? We also talked about Danny Garcia, who is currently the WBC challenger for Errol Spence when he returns. WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman has reaffirmed those notes. So Spence's IBF mandatory, however, will be the winner of I can't say that name.
Kudratillo.
That's good enough. Versus Lipinets, Sergey Lipinets. So
I think it's where is the
that's
name?
what we've chopped up thus far.
Oh yeah, it's Abdukakhorov. I'm probably messing up that. Oh, but
I believe you, bro.
No, it's Kudratillo Abdukakhorov, something like that.
That sounds better than anything I could have come up with. So
whatever.
I feel you.
Let's go out to these sponsors. We're gonna head out these callers. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
You want a drink? Who want a drink? I'm going to get y'all a drink. We're going to have a virtual party, callers. Let's go.
Practicing social distancing. So we socializing.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Going out to Boomerangs, Masterminds, Pound for Pounds, Ringers. Looks like we got New Orleans.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing.
You want to bet? You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Yo, what up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I don't care at this point. If you go over to the UK, I don't see it being no bad idea. I mean, I do know what's at risk, but I'm confident in my fighter's skill. So he go to the UK and bust up on Kell Brook. Maybe get some of the fans over there so they can start pushing for the more meaningful fights. Not to hear you did mention that Danny Garcia is the mandatory for the WBC belt, right?
Yep.
And he's also the mandatory for the WBO belt, but that gets no mention. He just sitting up there.
We said that, but you just never listen because you know your Bud favoritism.
I listen.
Your Bud favoritism blocking your ear paths.
I listen. It's just narrative that you want to continue pushing at this dude
you ain't
pulling up that spot.
You wouldn't be wasting your call if you listened.
Continue ducking.
You wouldn't be wasting your call if you listened.
Why are you chopping over my call?
Because you
Hey.
you saying I didn't
Nah,
mention
you just
something that
don't
we
want to put the
obviously
narrative
mentioned.
out there that this dude racing that spot and he could be also mandating that mandatory position to be fighting Bud while Errol is out hurt right now. So he gonna wait for Errol to have his T surgery and come back. How long he gonna wait for that? He holding up a spot. He could fight Bud for the belt. But of course not. Danny Paul didn't even answer the question when you asked him on the show. What about Bud? We're not answering questions right there. Well, I'll catch you after the fight. Still no fucking answer. That's my first call. Oh no, I got 3 minutes? I got 3 minutes?
Sure do.
Okay. Danny Paul came on the show. You asked him what was his best fight at 147. He went to 140 because he didn't have no best fight at 147. Best win at 147. And he couldn't answer that question because he don't have a best win at 147. But you asked him also, what about Terence Crawford? Couldn't give you no answer. But when you brought up Mike Garcia, oh yeah, we'll take that fight. But for some strange reason, it's always something with this Bud Crawford name every time he get mentioned. And we got people like you and your ass clown co-hosts that get on here and continue making these excuses for these fighters not fighting this dude. Or you're gonna just typically bash me, say I'm the Bud fan, I'm ignorant, you know more boxing than me. You ran off the back call the other day because somebody hit you with facts, but you want to stay stuck on stupid. And keep arguing your ignorant points and the points that you made up in your head and make believe and wanted to be factual when it's not true. So Danny Garcia is going to wait on an injured Errol. We don't even know when he's coming back, but he could go fight and mandate his against Bud and get the fight going. I know everything is on hold right now, but why are we not pushing that? If we want Bud to really fight somebody, why are we not pushing that? That's my first call, man.
Whoa.
You just can't help delusional
I just
people.
think that, first of all, like, we're the ones saying he should wait. Like, we're the ones saying to take an extra fight. Like, Spence has come out and said that he's ready to fight everybody, right, when he comes back. I mean, yeah, he mentioned Garcia.
You shouldn't even address
and
that.
Pacquiao,
Like, the
but
dude didn't
you know what I'm
even
saying? Like,
listen
if
to
he
the
wants to
show.
fight, listen, Earl's not going to be he's not going to be any less ready than Crawford by the time we're ready to fight again. So that point, it doesn't make too much sense to me.
How could it make sense? He didn't listen to the show. He's doing something in the background, waiting on his turn to talk. He obviously didn't listen to the show. He calling us ass clown. We just got to let you talk, champ. You make yourself look real intelligent.
Riding in the form with a foreign 4 Gianos on my feet, and the paint look wet. Every corner that we been, there's another broke neck. Rolling through the city, swag game on full flex. I know you see me.
Champ.
No go on intrigue. All right.
Yeah, standing
it
eight
was
count.
good.
Okay, we got him back.
What's good, man? I couldn't. I was multitasking. What's good with y'all?
What at least you can do that, man. Bud fans can't. We talked 20 topics. We talked 20 topics. He took 3 minutes for one topic.
Man, I ain't even gonna comment on Bud today. I'm tired of Bud. I'm gonna get on Spence. For Spence, y'all was talking about the Khan. I like that fight if Spence was really saying that he was hurt. But I mean, you let the whole Spence and the whole Spence fans say he back, he's stronger than ever, hitting the punching bag hard. He ain't got no injuries, no nothing. He ready to get in with a top 10.
I don't believe that though, Intrigue. Damn, you driving, champ? Because you freezing up on us.
It's choppy.
He gone.
Red. Just to say, hey man, yeah, we're gonna take it slow, see where we at. But they saying ain't nothing wrong with the man, so put him in there with somebody else. I don't want to see him fight Khan. And honestly, I'd probably be the only one with this opinion. I think he got too many soft touches in his resume anyway. You look at the last 6 fights, the only 2 fights I give him credit for is Porter and Kell Brook. Everybody else has been Mikey Garcia coming from 140. Bundu, Lamont Peterson, Chris Algier. I mean, Ocampo. Like, he ain't really got no good resume like how Keith and Sean Porter, they went through the fight. They went back to back to back. Who Earl back to back? Who his most challenging back to back he done fought? Nobody.
That's true.
But that's all I wanted to say.
Intrigue ain't lying, bro.
Yo, why you picking apart my man resume out here? What's going on?
He been avoided. That's what it is. Spence was avoided. He was the triple G in the welterweight.
You know it.
Nah. He could have been avoided, but it still was them fighters out there that he could have fought that had a better
Spence resume tough, man. Honestly speaking.
Nah, it ain't. It's good name recognition.
Yeah, no, it's good. He got
nice
good
start.
names on there, bro. He got good names.
Some solid fight.
Hell yeah, he got some solid fights. Y'all tripping,
It's
man.
just that if you're gonna give him credit for some of these, you gotta give Bud credit.
Yo, everybody gets credit. We give Bud credit. It's Gamboa and Horn. That you know what I'm saying? And for Earl, you know, he got his two. Like, look, not everybody. Yo, you know how hard it is to have 2 elite level wins. Not everybody has that, man. And Bud, Earl has that. Well, Earl has that. He got Kell Brook when he was, you know, quote unquote, still in his prime, and then he got Sean as a champion. You know what I mean? So those are 2 elite level wins. It could be argued, Mikey, depending on the fan, not me. That's why I didn't put it there.
Why are you trolling, man? Kell Brook was not in his prime. He was damaged goods from the Gennady fight, dog.
Oh, so one fight. So this is what I'm saying. So
he was a wounded lamb.
Okay, cool. I hear you. So now let's build off that, and that's what I'm saying, right? So people in the same breath say, "Oh, that's why I like the UFC because they can have 6 losses and people don't." So now Kell Brook suffers his first loss to Gennady, and you called him a wounded bird. He was done.
Nah, a lamb. All right, so lead after the bird.
So he was done. So wait a minute. So now he's not done anymore. He's good enough for Crawford. Now I'm not understanding.
I mean, I'm not the only one that's saying that him and Crawford would be a fight, but I'm not going with that argument. I'm going with the argument that he's not, he's not this big win for Earl. Like, you making it sound like that's like his hallmark win.
How the fuck this is what I'm saying. You dudes never
I mean, in comparison.
You really have to you gotta listen to yourself, brother. The dude never fought a champion in his life. He gets on a plane, goes to another country where the time zone is 4 hours behind him or ahead of him. And he defeats the champion. He defeats the champion in his hometown. There's only a few champions that done that. Crawford did it. Bradley did it. Earl did it.
And they lost his luggage from the plane. He couldn't find the right shampoo that he uses. What else happened? His laces broke on his Jordans.
And he still got the win.
Man.
And he still got the win.
Yo, against
all odds. Against all odds. Against all odds, against all the racist comments, everything. Do the research.
But Kell Brook ain't that dude, bro. The one that stands.
Nobody's
out
the dude compared to y'all. Nobody's the dude.
Sean Porter, man. Kell Brook, don't talk to me about a wounded lamb, bro. Sean Porter, and I'll give you Mikey Garcia.
Okay. So then, why don't you be as critical with Terrence's resume? So what? Gamboa wasn't a wounded lamb. What about Jose Benavidez? He wasn't a wounded lamb. He got
injured in the fight, though. It's
injured in the fight. What the fuck? You thinking about the Tank fight, or you thinking about the Crawford fight?
So I never really confirmed. I mean, as far as me, obviously you guys have been on it. I've only been back a little bit, but was it confirmed that he was injured Gamboa out of the camp, and that he came in with an injury, or that he got injured from the second round on?
I don't even know what you're talking about. Why are you talking about Tank?
I'm not talking about Tank.
He's talking about Gamboa. He's talking about Gamboa.
Yeah,
what do you mean but you said he got hurt from the second round on? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's Tank. That's Tank fight.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I mixed those two facts. But going back to when he first fought him, like, was that a prime Gamboa? You know what I'm saying?
Of course not. Especially if you want to be
He's been passed on,
my
like,
man.
from
Especially if you want to be as biased as you're being right now and saying that Brook was damaged goods, well, Gamboa, my man, was dirty laundry.
Yo, you wrote that down earlier. Listen, I don't know. You talk about Kell Brook, like it's just weird how your circular logic works. Like Kell Brook is one of the best wins on Errol Spence's resume, right? That's what you're saying.
3 years ago. That's 6 fights in boxing on the elite level. That's 6 fights, 2 fights per year. We're talking 3 years ago, bro. Like, stop trying to keep him viable now. Let's get to callers. Y'all terrible, man.
I'm not trying to say he's the same guy, but Doomy's point is that he wasn't the same guy before Gennady. But you can't say that.
And my point is, so now we discrediting dudes with 1 loss.
Wait, what?
That's what Doomy's saying. Doomy's saying, yo, when Earl fought Brook, he was done. I'm saying, damn, after 1 loss, a fighter's done?
Bruh. He lost to Errol Spence and he hasn't lost since. So what are you talking about? Has he looked great? No.
Thank you. So you making my point.
Exactly
Thank
what
you.
You're doing.
You're on my bandwagon. You know that, right? You're on my team.
No.
Listen to me. No. Doomy is saying that when Earl beat Brook, Brook was done.
Okay.
My defense.
And now you're saying Brook's done because he lost to
I'm not
Earl.
saying Brook nothing. I'm saying how the fuck is Brook done after 1 loss? That's all I'm saying, Mario. Y'all need to start listening, bro.
I don't think he's done. I think that what he's saying is he wasn't in his prime. And I think that I think he said he's damaged goods after that fight because of the hellaciousness of the beating, which I'm not saying I believe or disbelieve. I'm just saying.
It's hellacious. Hellacious beating he gave him.
Man.
So you agree with that?
This show,
so you agree with that?
This show is 100 times better with Doomy. I'm just telling you.
So you agree with that? Wait. So you agree with that? You agree with that?
Out of him.
The brownie, man, he fucking almost took Triple G's neck off his shoulders with the uppie. After that, everybody was jumping up like, yo, I'll fight him.
Damn, Triple G.
Yo, after they seen the little
long neck,
bro, after they seen the little welterweight knock his head off his shoulder, it was like, hold up, I'll fight him. Yo, let me get some of that old motherfucker. They like, nah, we saving him for Canelo. Come on, bro, get out of here, man. Look how shitty he looked versus Derevyanchenko. Come on, man. I've been saying that shit for years. The problem, it was the Mike Tyson thing. People was afraid, man. You got to stand up to the bully the way Ward did with Kovalev. When you afraid, you lose.
My man been fighting for 16 years, B. He been in 12-round fights. Like, he's gone at the distance more than fucking 6-7 times.
Who we talking about?
Like, this guy, I'm talking about Kell Brook. Kell Brook has been, he's on his way out, man. I don't even know how.
Of course he's on his way out. Of course.
Why is Bob Arum feeding this like it's some crazy dangerous fight, man?
Yo, that's it. Now you part of the ass clowns now. They was leaving you out of it. Now for saying it's a bad fight, you're an ass clown.
Clown. Watch how Bud demolishes this man, bro. Y'all over here acting like it ain't what it ain't. I mean, it ain't what it is. It is what it is, bro.
I mean, he's supposed to get the win.
He's supposed to get the win, bro. He went fucking 12 rounds with Michael Safara, bro. Sarafa.
Yo, but that's a 160-pounder. Why you acting like welterweight's moving up to 160 and doing shit? Y'all don't know how to evaluate shit, bruh. Show me another welterweight that moved up and beat someone on the level of Safara.
Man, I'm not talking about everybody else. I'm talking about what he did, man, and what he's looking like.
Okay,
man,
so all right, and my argument to that is show me another 147-pounder that moved up and fought someone on the level of Michael Safara. You can't knock what Kell Brook done.
What are we calling Michael Safara?
A durable fighter. That's all we call him.
Yeah, but
his biggest win.
You was calling him the stripper. Like
he is a stripper. He was a stripper. He was a stripper, but his biggest win is only Jeff Horn. That's his biggest win. He beat Jeff Horn. He lost the. I know him for losing to. I know him for getting knocked out to Peter Quillen, but also beating Jeff Horn.
And then now you making it look like Kell Brook beat somebody like he went 12 rounds with a official ass man. Man, get out of here, man.
What the fuck, bro? He went 12 rounds with an official middleweight.
Why? Official? Why? Because he beat Jeff Horn?
Not only that, because he also shared the ring with Peter Quillen and lasted like 3-4 rounds. Durability.
That ain't durable, man. Yo, I'm going off here. I'm going off.
What you mean?
Oh,
Yo,
man, he got you, bro.
I told him don't do that with an asshole. Look, as soon as he did that, we get the choppiness. Oh my God. Say something, Mario. Yo, you can't go out, bro. That causes choppiness, you weirdo. Let me get to these callers, man. I'm going to Stainless, man. I'm going to Stainless.
Does he got you?
Stainless, what's going on in Detroit, man? Boomerang status.
Red belt, black belt, WON green. I'm king. Undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
Yo, TBV, what's good?
What up, Stainless?
What up?
Yo, Domi Mario on this bitch. Is that the legendary baby right there?
Legendary baby.
Yes, indeed. Legendary baby. What up, though?
Yo, man, you know me, man. Just stalling so I can get off this Bluetooth real. Yo, man, it's Sunday in this bitch. Shout out to all my Patreon members on this Wednesday workout challenge, man. Shout out to Info Joe for pushing everybody to make sure they stay on it. That cat like 50, 51, and he knocking out 50 like it's nothing. So if you younger than him and you can't get down on that ground and push out 50, 7,500 push-ups, man, you playing. I'm at work, so I ain't got to smoke yet. So I was wondering what the fuck Mario was smoking, talking about Amir Khan. It's too early for him to fight Errol Spence or some shit like that.
I said Amir Chin take a fight in between.
Man, Amir Khan is a great tune-up for anybody, cause the fuck are you talking about, Mario?
Are you sure you're using that word right? Tune up.
Yes, I am sure I'm using that word right. Are you sure that you're using that word right? Talking about these two dangerous opponents. Dangerous.
Yo, that's like Pablo Munguia's like a tune-up. Amir Khan, yo, you're discrediting a former world champion, like.
The former world champion, what, like 6, 7, 8 years ago now? Come on, bro. You talking about a cat, bro. You talking about if anybody else would have took them shots, they would have went down too. Outside of maybe that dick shot he took from Terrence Crawford in that last fight, you can't say that everybody gonna go down just based on them little shots, man. You leave yourself unprotected and unguarded, like Amir Khan tends to do. You know what I'm saying? Then you talking a different game. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't on your P's and Q's all the time and you get caught with a shot you ain't see coming, then yeah, it's gonna take you down. And Amir Khan does that. He gets lazy sometimes in there behind that jab because he's stroking it at people. I feel that, man. But to claim this dude who ain't had a real elite win in since what, like 2014, 2015,
10 years.
Yeah, I thought so, man. I thought so, man. Talking about he deserved a fight with Pacquiao and all these, just because of his name, bro. Like it's not based on his resume or the things that he. I mean,
popularity.
Shit. The dude took 2 years off, bro. Like, and then he came back and fought who? Exactly. So why am I gonna sit here and talk like this dude is the shit like that, bro? Come on, man. Mario, I know that you're an Amir Khan fan, man, and I respect that. But we got this thing that maybe I'm just smoking a lot of reality over here, but. You sound crazy to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Much love and much respect. As always, say, please make sure you push that thumbs up. Share this at every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. It's TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, I guess you'll hear this next week because you're stupid. Peace.
Yo, I would say this, though, Mario. I wouldn't call him a tune-up, but I would say he's only 2/3 of the package. He ain't going to bring you the competitiveness. He only going to bring you the speed. He will definitely bring you the popularity.
Yes.
And
I can rock with that.
You the pay. That's it.
I think Stanley said it best with the jab and the way he broke that down. He's absolutely right. And that's the thing is he gets very complacent in there. He starts to take over a fight. That's why he's always good for about 4 or 5 rounds. He looks like the best fighter that you've ever seen in your life.
And then after the 4th round, he realizes, shit, I ain't going to be able to knock this dude out.
It's something like that. It's close, but.
Nah, man, look. Khan is a name. Brook is a name. But Broner's the best name. That's the name they need to be seeking out. That's the name that's going to bring in the other names, man. Let me go out to Ringer in Chicago. Steve, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
All right.
Hey, the fight we should be pushing, we push Pacquiao and Spence. Spence beats Pacquiao. He'll have 3 of the titles. Then we can move on to Crawford and have an undisputed match. That would be the best route to go for this welterweight division.
But Steve, there's just certain guys you can't push into fights. AJ, Pacquiao.
I get it, bro. But I get it. I know what you're saying. But I want to talk about Crawford too. I don't really care who he fights, but as far as Brook, I looked at it when you told me the other day. I look at it like this: if Brook came down to 147, I don't see him beating any of the guys you asked me about. Josecito Lopez beats Brook at 147. I know some guys might not agree with that, but that's my opinion. What's his name? I forgot the other guy's name now, but you named like 3 guys to me, and I said to you that they'd be better than Brook because I look at it as they're better competition for Crawford than Brook. That's just my opinion. I don't like Brook.
Yeah, man. I would be happier with the Brook fight if we seen him fight a Josecito or Lipinets.
Hey, man, sleeping on Lopez, man. That dude's a dog. Josecito ain't a joke, man. I don't know why these guys are trying to tell some guys they think, what has he done? He's a dog, man. That guy's going to come and he's going to bang.
But he's old. He's getting old, and he's been in a lot of wars. You know what I mean? He's had a lot of wars. Remember, he's been in fights with Vargas early in his career, Mike Dallas early in his career.
Put him in there with Crawford and see what he does. He's gonna take it to Crawford. Now, I'm not saying he'll beat him.
But this is the way they're looking at it, Steve.
But Brook is a walk in the park for Crawford.
But listen, Crawford beats both of them, but who gives Crawford more? Brook gives him more. That's how they looking at it. Josecito needs to get a good win to for it to mean something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's always going to come down to dollars, man.
I'm telling you, I know what you're saying about Pacquiao, but to me, I really want that Spence Pacquiao. That's the fight I want. Because then I think Spence will win and he'll have 3 titles. What more do you want?
Yeah, but
then that makes that Crawford fight even bigger.
You don't pick Pacquiao. Pacquiao picks you.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, but that's the fight I want.
You also going for Spence on beating Pacquiao, right? That's what it sounds like. Why I want to see that fight.
Yeah.
And that's why Pacquiao picks you.
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
Yeah, man. Canelo picks you. Anthony Joshua picks you.
These are the golden tickets.
Tyson
the Willy
Fury.
Wonkas of the
Tyson
sport.
Fury now picks you. That's how it goes, man. You don't get picked, man. You ain't the lion yet, man. You ain't the king of the jungle. When you the king of the jungle, you make the calls. But let's see who's up. We going out to make sure I ain't got nothing over here. Looking like Troy on a boomerang. Troy on a boomerang. What up, Baltimore? Troy, what up?
Yes, sir. How's everybody tonight? How's everybody? Good?
We all good, man. Amen.
Good,
How are you, brother?
Good. I'm alive and well. I'm listening to you, but I got to be honest. Your logic is very particular and pathetic because
pathetic?
You pick and choose what you want. Like, okay, Bud is okay when you're talking about Crawford and you say Horn, you say, well, that's not a good win for him. But then you brought up this dude who beat Horn, and that's his biggest win. I don't understand the logic in that at all. Because if he's not good for one guy, how's he good for the other guy? Right?
But that's the
And
thing,
then
right?
you were talking-
So what are you saying? Are you a hypocrite then, or am I the hypocrite, or are we both hypocrites? Because
you're the
think about it.
hypocrite.
Exactly.
I'm never the hypocrite.
I'm the hypocrite, right? Because
You were the hypocrite.
Exactly, because
Yes,
my
sir.
logic says that when we're talking Bud, Horn doesn't count. When we're talking Safada, Horn does count. But why does your logic
Why is
have to
that?
say that? Why does your logic have to say that? Simply because I said it. You can simply just give both men credit.
No. I would. The question is, why aren't you?
But
There is no but. I just made my point.
That he's wrong because you're wrong.
Who?
You.
No,
That's what you're saying.
Mario.
You're saying
No,
he's
I'm not.
wrong because you're wrong.
Mario. You can't speak for me. I have a simple point.
I'm saying that's what Ness is saying. I'm saying that's what Ness is saying to you.
Okay.
He's trying to twist you up over here.
No.
That's what I hear.
No. Mario.
I'm sorry. Ness is trying to. Go ahead.
Look, he's eating up your
No,
call,
no.
Troy. Come on, you gonna let him eat up your
Troy.
call?
Go ahead, Troy.
Now listen. You know I'm gonna use all my time, so now you gotta hear my voice for I don't know how many minutes. But you know what you're trying to do is you're trying to deflect and talk in a circular manner instead of just dealing with something straight ahead. The fact is, if Bud's win is against Horn is no good, then whoever you just mentioned, Mike Zapata or whoever the hell his name is, why you raising him up all these levels because he beat Horn? Why don't you give Bud the same respect?
I didn't raise him up all those levels. That's just what you heard. That's how you interpreted it. Because I never used the words levels.
I didn't interpret it, man. You spoke it word for word. You said that is a big win for Michael so-and-so.
Oh, shit. Now he said I said the word big. You're such a liar right now. Get out of here. I did not say that's a big win.
Man.
Yo, I said that's a big win. Come on,
Ness,
Troy.
Yes, you said.
What the fuck?
You said that's a big win for Michael so-and-so.
Yo, they hear what they want to hear, bro. They hear what they want to hear. I love it.
I warned you. That's how you sounded.
Even if you didn't use the word big, use another adjective which is close to big.
10-minute clapper. 10-minute clapper.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't say 10-minute clapper.
I got that.
10-second clapper.
Yo, my man straight threw
in.
in.
10 seconds.
My
Listen,
man straight threw a little verb in there. He threw a little verb. He wanted to show a little action. He wanted to show a little action. Talking about that was a big win for Safada. Yeah, get out of here, man. I ain't say that
listen,
shit.
he was using a little hyperbole, I'll admit, but he wasn't wrong. And I told you at the beginning, I told you before, I said,
did you tell me?
When you say these things, this is how you're coming across.
How
so when
am I
people
coming
say that
across?
stuff, you gotta rock with them because that's how you're sounding.
I don't know what you mean.
Until I get you to elaborate.
I don't know what you mean.
He's accusing you of the same thing that I asked you about earlier on the show.
No
I asked you to clarify.
No entiendo.
Okay.
No entiendo.
I hear you.
I got
yo, bruv. I don't know what you mean, bruh. Like, if they give credit to Crawford for Horn, why doesn't Safara get it? So you're saying, hold on, let me just talk. So you're saying, Nestor, no, that's not fair. You're not allowed to say anything remotely like that because if we're ever debating Crawford, you don't like Crawford's win versus Horn. That's the logic that you guys have.
Nah. You know what? I get you, Ness, because now I get it. Like you saying, giving credit to Safara and not giving credit to Crawford doesn't make you really a hypocrite because, again, it's just about levels. And you could give Safara some credit for Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? I would because I know where Jeff Horn falls into play. But if you want to talk about elite, the best of the best, and the style and the way
Horn
Jeff
and Safada are on that level. Crawford and Horn are not. Crawford is elite. We've established that. I don't even understand. Like
past Jeff Horn and Safara. So it's like that's why we don't give him as much credit, Troy. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna give him that credit.
But all I'm saying here, look, this is the point. I'm not saying that Ness is wrong. I'm not saying he's right. But what I'm trying to say is that when he uses the logic and breaks down fights using BoxRec the way that he does, it
BoxRec
just using that, it leads people to believe that he feels a certain way towards Crawford, and he's in his feelings with Spence. Like it just sounds that way. I'm not saying that's true.
That's just
I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying how you. No, it's not.
Honestly, it's just you
me.
because we weren't
It's not
talking
me,
about
I
Horn
promise.
today, right? We weren't talking about Horn today in Crawford. We were talking about Horn
But
and
I didn't
Safada. You know what I mean?
I know, and I'm saying anytime you come across that way.
Look, hey man, whatever you guys say, man. Whatever you guys say.
I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Hey man, whatever you say, brother.
You say he's not right too, though. So.
No, exactly. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
But
right.
I'm not here to
can't
be. Listen,
you know, in the word of the God body, you can't be good and bad at the same time. It's either you
I'm
good
also
or you bad.
I'm
So what
also
are you
not
saying?
here to be right. I'm
I
also
think an
not here to be
idea
right.
can be both good and bad and have its flaws, and I think that's the issue with Ness is that he doesn't see the flaws in what he perceives to be a good idea. All I'm saying is that you're using the BoxRec to prove that certain guys are good when.
How did I use anything, brother? His biggest win is Horn. Listen to me. I never said Safada gets X amount of credit or Safada is this good of a fighter because he beat Horn. I never said that. I simply said he beat Horn. Homeboy calls in and says that was his big win for Horn. I never said that. He beat Horn. That's it. He beat Horn. But that's the problem. It triggers you Bud fans. Because right there, it's like, oh my God, Horn, he's attached to Crawford some way. I got to say something. He beat Horn. That's all I said. That's all I said.
And Horn is credible beat if you beat him.
Obviously, it's a trigger.
Pacquiao.
Obviously, it's a trigger, bro. It's a trigger. You can't say he beat Horn these days.
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell them the truth, Joe. Tell them the truth.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my
Tell them the
brother.
truth, Joe. Tell them the truth.
Yo, what's up, my boxing brothers?
Joe, what up?
Info.
Hey, man, first off, Doomsday, what you smoking, man? You sound high in the motherfucker, man.
Bro, that white Bruce
Sound like-
Banner.
What is it called?
White Bruce Banner.
Oh, man, I got to give me some of that, man. You sound like your eyes is Chinese right now. Yo, first off.
Throwing 12 years, give me 12 months out of the year, bro. I'm telling you.
Right. First off, man, I don't want to see Spence versus Khan unless Spence handlers feels he needs a tune-up. I would like him to go right into a Danny fight. I think Khan is going to quit. I think at this point, Jaron Ennis knocks Khan out. Cold. Real talk.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Roy Jones didn't fight Mike Tyson at that time. I remember that, man. It was my two favorite fighters at that time. Mike Tyson would have knocked Roy Jones out in 4, no doubt. And as far as Kell Brook versus Bud, I'd rather see that over the Broner fight. I do believe it'd be more of a competitive fight. If Brook eye holds up, it's gonna be a good fight, man. Brook can fight, man. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. I think he still can
you
fight.
ain't sound too confident when you say if his eye holds up.
Hey, if it's
He don't want to see Broner because you think Broner ain't gonna let his hands go against Spence.
Right. That's all. But
Brook,
if Brook can make the weight
against a welterweight, I think.
Yeah. Also,
Brook ain't fought at welterweight in 3 years, but that's what Bud Crawford fans want.
Yeah, dude might be way drained down to nothing. Yeah, that's the only thing. If he can make the weight comfortable, I think it'd be a competitive fight long as it lasts. Hey, y'all, far as the Doomsday, you said you was in, man. Put your film your 50 push-ups, put it in the Skype chat under Workout Wednesday. Kaz, you too, brother. Mario, you pump faking. You said you was gonna do 75, 80 with one hand.
Yo, I said,
come on, where you at?
I couldn't do that anymore, but I sent Ness the video right before we started. That's why I was late.
I ain't even
I'ma
know.
do that
Let me
tomorrow.
see. I ain't get no video.
I emailed it to you.
All right, all right.
I ain't get no
figure out how to
email
get it
either,
on that
yo. He's
workout
stunting. I told y'all about pressuring Mario into doing any physical activities, man.
Bruh, I already did the video. Look at it. Look, I'll just text it to you right now.
Put it in the Skype chat.
He's a power lifter.
Anybody that want to join, man, I know everybody at home getting fat right now, man. We doing 50 push-ups a day. And by the next month, man, we all going to be in shape. And the better way to fight off this corona bullshit is also if we do exercise and keep our immune system up, man. I wish all y'all the best, man, and stay safe, man, around the world, whoever listening, man. May God bless us all. That's all I got.
Thank
Peace,
you,
family.
Joe. Info Joe. Round of applause for you, bro. Yeah, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna do my 50 push-ups. I'm about to do like 150. I'm gonna jog up and down the street. You know, I've been lazy this weekend eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I said I'm vegan.
Yo, peanut butter and jelly's healthy. Why you keep saying that? Like
bread.
That's like a workout guy's like go-to. Like all.
Oh, is it? I didn't
with
know
the banana, with the chopped up banana in it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a good diet.
I mean, it's high in sugar, obviously, but you know,
sugar
peanut
and carbohydrates.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, my bad. I thought he said. My bad. I thought he was talking like peanut butter and jelly soup or something like he was eating last time.
Yo, y'all make peanut butter and jelly soup in Mexico?
You know, Lucky Charm soup is pretty good too. I don't know if that's like.
Yo, I didn't know y'all make like peanut butter and jelly soup in Mexico. That's what y'all got?
No. But that's they just in Texas they do stuff like that at all our fairs. Like I've had like a Oreo dipped in
true. You got some good
in
fairs,
like what's it called, the corn dog stuff.
Look, you got Doomies. As soon as you start talking about food and sweets, you get his attention. You talk about food and sweets.
Bro, no, fair food, like especially in Texas, is like shit, bro.
In South Jersey too, don't they have like fried Twinkies and shit?
We have a 2-foot funnel cake.
Let me get to some calls. Ladies and gents. There's a lot of men and ladies out here ready to talkage.
Ladies, my Mercedes fit
Hoes
2 in the
back. 4 if you're fat. I said it wrong, my bad.
Yeah, I was said it wrong too. I said it off, but go ahead.
It's so interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'm killing this mother. Why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
What's up, yo? Really nasty. Man, what the fuck Mario and Doomsday talking about? Well, let me get on first. First, he said Amir Khan is not a tune-up fight for Errol. Errol go fight Amir Khan coming straight out the club after being drunk and knock him out. And that's no disrespect to Errol. That's a tune-up fight right there. Amir Khan been knocked out at all the top fights. Bro, he's a tune-up fight. Doomsday talking about Kell Brook. I mean, we didn't tell Kell Brook to go up there and get that payday from Triple G. And you trying to take credit from Errol beating him. Yeah, he fucked up the other eye and shit like that. So, man, you can't sit there and say that because I know you ain't going to sit there and dissect Canelo. Hold on. I know you're not going to sit there and dissect how Canelo pick his opponents and shit like that. He go after old men. So we're not gonna get on that topic.
That's your beef with
Hold on. Let me go. Back because I've been waiting. And back to intrigue. Intrigue made a comment about people resume. But what you gotta understand is when you coming up like Keith Thurman came up, he fought some crappy fighters coming up, and then everybody was ducking Keith Thurman at one time. And then Errol started calling him out. He became the boogeyman. Keith Thurman went missing for a long period of time with all these excuses about these injuries and stuff like that. So then Errol becomes the man at the time. Everybody ducking him. So it goes around the same way. Bud is going through the same thing right now, not getting the fights. So they all go through that phase and shit like that. But the only difference is nobody's not calling out Bud no more. Everybody calling out Errol. They want the Errol fight now. Nobody ain't calling out Bud. So that just says something about Bud character to me personally. And shit like that. They don't want that Bud smoke. So, man, I'm just sitting here listening to y'all going back and forth. Oh, another thing with you, Myra. You talking about Amir Khan ain't no tune-up fight, but then you go back and question Deontay take his first loss if he mentally ready to take another fight with Tyson Fury. Like, I don't understand that. But Amir Khan got his ass whooped over how many times? How many times he been knocked out? Huh? But you question Deontay Wilder to take his first loss, and you talking about you don't know if he mentally ready to get in another fight. Like that, I mean, that shit don't make sense to me, man. Like, man, oh boy, Mike, boy, that's all I got, Ness. That's all I got, man.
Mario ain't even. I don't think he's here to defend him and Khan right now. He stepped away for 2 seconds, but shit. I mean, look, I'm still gonna say that Kell Brook stepped into the ring as a wounded lamb against fucking Errol Spence Jr. Excuse my French, but that's what it is. Whether or not he wanted it or not, or I'm not gonna sit here and give him all his credit for that one. I'll give him his utmost respect and credit for Sean Porter, and that's still gonna be the one that really made me the believer.
I mean, it's just the words that we use, not give him his credit is like a strong phrase to use. Again, he went overseas, and he did what he did. Doesn't make sense. Israel, talk to me in Oklahoma.
Hey, good evening, fellas. How y'all doing?
All right.
Good, champ. How's everything out there?
It's good, man. Weather's real nice today. I just got a couple points to make. I'm going back on some of the original content. I think Mike Tyson was just talking, just making a point. Nothing to take from that. On Jaime Munguia, man, that dude should take any fight that comes his way, because I think that's his ticket. Because I don't see him lasting. I don't think he'd win against Canelo or Triple G, but you got to take it. And last thing I got to say before I let y'all go is keep talking about Jeff Horn, man. It must be middle of the coronavirus epidemic, because we got a lot of Jeff Horn talk tonight. That's it, y'all. Have a good evening.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he made himself relevant. He's fought Pacquiao and Crawford and Safada, and now he's gonna fight Zoo. Costa Zoo's son, so he's.
We woke up and stood up and realized who he was, and what made him man was Pacquiao fight, bro. I didn't know what the fuck Jeff Horn was until that happened. Oh.
Yeah.
Word up. Mario, you weren't here to defend yourself, bro. They was getting that Khan and you.
I heard actually. I just had to restart the thing. So yeah, man. Listen, I don't know. I think when we see a real tune-up fight in the future, I'll be able to just prove my point right then and there. And
no,
people
but
that's
the thing, man.
Not a Khan.
That's the thing, bro. A tune-up fight, we're not using that word in its true essence, and I think that's what you're getting caught up. We're saying Khan is a tune-up for Earl because of what we think of Earl. We're not saying Khan is a tune-up for anyone, right? Because still he can still beat some people like D, C's, like the Samuel Vargas.
B's. Yeah.
What B's, bro?
I mean,
give me one B. One. Just
one. You went. All right. No, that's fine. I'll live up to the challenge. All right, let's see a B. Mikey Garcia's a B at 147. He could beat Mikey Garcia. Let's see Thurman. He could probably beat Thurman. If he doesn't get knocked out, he beats Thurman.
This is
why. What an 8?
This is why people call you crazy right here. This is why.
What did I say? I said Thurman. He could beat Thurman if Thurman doesn't knock him out. There's a good chance he knocks him out. I'm not saying anything wrong.
But there's no way that he doesn't get knocked out. And even with Mikey, he'll get knocked out.
My bad, Nostradamus. You're right. Okay, you said Ugas. What do we call Ugas?
No,
A or a B?
B, we're gonna call him B. Come on.
Well, I was gonna say a B plus, but
does Khan even beat Ugas?
I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
yeah,
he beats too robotic. I think he's too robotic for a guy like Khan, man.
I think he
Delerme's a B minus. You called Delerme a B.
I think he doesn't let his
fighter. He beats Delerme.
I don't think he lets his hands go enough, Ugas.
He beats Maurice Hooker's ranked here for some reason. He beats Jesse Vargas. He beats Jesse Vargas.
Man, you crazy, man.
Oh man, thank you for doing this. This is
bro. Khan
Lopez,
gets knocked out.
Besito.
Yo, he gets knocked out so easy, bro. So easy that it's too hard to pick him.
Is Danny Garcia a great power puncher with a great left hand that landed a perfectly timed and well orchestrated?
No, but it's more than Danny.
Or is Amir Khan just super garbage? I don't get it. You are discrediting guys that you like when you talk about Amir Khan like this.
It don't matter.
You do it
Dog,
troll.
listen, it don't matter what you think. You want to take my criticism and make it universal. It's not. My criticism is in a time. Khan had his time. Danny finished him. Prescott really finished him, but everyone's entitled to a rebuild. But Prescott showed us the truth. And this is why people are like, yo, what's wrong with Mario? Is he serious? Is he trolling? It's because you can pick another fighter to die on, but Khan is the wrong guy. The dude literally never won a fight. He never won a fight, bro. You
I think that people just don't understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Khan had the best career. He made a lot of mistakes and he didn't focus on boxing enough. But if you look at his body of work, there's never been a fight where
there is no body of work, bro. That's what we're arguing, that he's never won a big fight. He's never won a big fight.
All I'm saying is he is much more talented than his resume represents.
But
that's all I'm going to tell you.
What does it matter if you got talent? Why does it matter if you got talent if you can't do anything with it? Intrigue said it a couple of hours ago. My man said it. He hasn't been in a true title shot or title contention for 4 years.
He said he hasn't beaten an elite fighter.
No. I put it on the screen. He said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He said Brook and Khan haven't been in title contention for the last 4 years, and I corrected him. Said, yo, remember Earl just fought Brook for his title 3 years ago. So you can't say that about Brook, but about Khan you can.
Khan got
Zab Judah famous?
Zab Judah was on his way out. You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all even hear what Ness just said? He gave credit to Brook for losing to Spence, but he doesn't give Khan credit for losing to Crawford in a fight where everybody thought he was going to get blown out. Well, I mean, he did get blown out, but I mean, I don't understand where's your credibility? Where's the line for
brother? What are you talking about, bruh? Come on, Mario, you slowing up the show. Listen to me. When Earl fought Brook and when Crawford fought Khan are two different times in boxing, bro.
Okay. I'm sorry. You're talking about what those fights meant at that time. I thought what you're saying is what those fights meant right now on their lineage.
The Brook that Earl fought is not the Khan that Crawford fought, man.
All I'm saying is that when you look back on these resumes, you look back and you say, oh, he fought Khan and beat him. Oh, he fought Brook, he beat him. That's all I'm trying to say is that these names count for something.
For casuals.
Whether you want to dissect what they meant at the time.
For casuals. On a boxing podcast like this one, we know that when Danny fought Khan was when Khan was relevant. He hasn't been relevant in a long time.
That's hard to make that's hard to make that argument when he's continuously in the running for everybody.
What running? Show me the contract. Show me the contract. Show me the contract.
Relevant because he fought.
My man says. My man says that everyone is giving him a fight, but he never gets it. He's been saying Pacquiao and Mayweather's name since he stepped on the scene, bro.
That's true.
You know what Khan never says? The name of the rematch that he should try and get. The name of the dude that knocked him out.
Danny Garcia.
No, it's mad. It's mad people that knocked him out. He don't want no rematches.
Who made Khan famous though? Why is Khan so famous?
He's an Olympian. He's an Olympian. He went to the Olympics. You know. He's got
checks a lot of boxes.
He's got
it's
a huge.
Not on television, but who fought? Who did he fight?
Olympics matter. What do you mean? And it is televised.
They do matter.
Yo, Shakur.
There was a stretch of.
It's televised, man. Everything you're saying is wrong. What happened?
Listen, it was a stretch of time where he fought Kotelnik, Malignaggi,
a lot of people.
Maidana,
I seen
Zab Judah, Lamont Peterson, Danny Garcia. I mean,
he got names. But right now, like Ness said, where is relevant right now?
Bro, he's not relevant. He hasn't beat
I
anybody in the last 10 years, man. Last 10 years.
And I never argued that he did, though. If you hear my argument's not based on. That's why I misunderstood what we were debating in a sense, because I was saying one thing, you were saying another. So,
but I see him as a tune-up for Crawford. It's not a
he already lost to Crawford.
I'm sorry, to Spence.
Yeah, we know. I know what you meant.
No, I'm just laughing because that's what I'm saying. Anybody beats Khan, bro. Like, if you're good, you beat Khan. Like, yo. And if you're almost good, like if you're alright, you gonna at least drop Khan. That's how the fight plays out. For real. If you alright, you dropping him. You know what I'm saying?
You know what that means?
And I promise you, it's like that. Like, yo.
And that's why I'm trying to figure out, and you guys still ain't say, y'all named everybody that he fought, but what made him cross over to fame? Like, why is he so famous?
Yeah, the UK following.
Because he's the only Pakistani boxer, man. That's why. He's the only one. He's the only one. He's popular. He got like 6 million followers, 9 million followers on Instagram.
Enrique, you never seen what T Street is, huh?
Nah, T Street. Yeah, I know T Street. Yeah.
So you got to think like, to get into a market, and I'm just using that as an example, to get into a market, like it doesn't matter what you do or what you don't do. And that's the thing with Khan. It really has never mattered what he does or what he doesn't do. Like either way, he's just been popular. He's been popular since the get-go.
He has some Conor McGregor style.
It's like one of those things where it's easier to just agree with than it is to really describe.
Yeah, exactly. You can't explain it, but like if they announce Khan Broner, we'd be like, oh shit. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh shit for Broner or oh shit for Khan.
Both though.
It's the combination of that fight.
Khan already got an established following, but how did it get to that?
Bruh, I told you it started in the Olympics, then he's from the UK. That's two things right there. Then he's Pakistani. Okay? The only Pakistani boxer on this level. Okay? And then he signs the Golden Boy. Then they give him Barrera. Then they give him Malignaggi, Judah, in New York and all these places.
I remember Malignaggi. I saw that. It was
They built him. They built him up. They built him up properly. He was on HBO. He was on HBO. Yeah, then Danny comes and upsets the apple cart. Absolutely.
And that's how we knew about Danny after that.
Well, I knew about Danny already.
I'm trying to figure out. I learned about Malignaggi and Khan walking by Madison Square Garden and saying, oh, shit. I'm just trying to figure out how I was like, oh, that's a good fight. And I went in and bought tickets, and it was in the theater.
For which fight?
I remember that. Malignaggi versus Khan. And Victor Ortiz was on that card too. I saw that in the garden. I'm just still trying to understand why he's so famous though.
It's just how it works, man. You know.
Plus, he's like a really good dude. Like outside, like he's already donated a 4-story building to fight coronavirus.
No, that's now. He made his money, so he got the building off of boxing. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to understand the fame part. Like, how's he 2/3 of the package versus,
because he's already got 1 foot ahead of the game from being from the UK. You know, them dudes easily get a following. Then I keep telling you, he's the only Pakistani boxer. Like, why are you trying to ignore that?
Pakistan. I mean, he represents a huge market of people. Like nobody's saying that he's world famous. Like nobody's saying that he's US famous.
Yeah, nobody's saying that he's relevant here, but internationally,
Dancing with the Stars.
Bro, he's US famous. I seen him in the MGM get crowded and mobbed. I seen him in the Barclays Center get mobbed.
Famous. And international fame spills over and can seem like national fame, but the regular sports fans in America don't really know him. But anyone who has any understanding of boxing, does know him and knows that he represents a huge market. He's a big money guy because he brings in a market of Pakistani, the UK, like all these different markets that are usually underrepresented in America.
Okay.
Let me get to some callers, man.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
Nice intro. What up, Amir? What up?
Oh, shit. He dropped off. All right, we going to Lids Low. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, fella?
What up?
What up?
Oh, shit, everything kosher, man. Shout out to Baldy. You know what it is with Bud, man. I'm just glad somebody want to fight him. So, Kell Brook, bring your ass. Just make sure you make weight. This whole Amir Khan, he is a tune-up for Spence. You know what I'm saying? That's something nice for Spence to come back to so we can see what Spence said. Mike Tyson would have knocked out Roy Jones because Roy Jones went through them 3 fights and lost them 3 back-to-back like that. So, that shit wouldn't have been no good. Man, shout out to y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just checking y'all buzz out. Be easy.
Stonebone Boxing.
What up? Yeah, man. Man, Roy Jones, man, would have boxed Mike Tyson fucking ears off, man. Fuck. I don't want to hear that shit from Mike Tyson, man. Shut up. Roy Jones would have put hands on him. And Ness, well, Gamboa, he wasn't washed or trash at that time. He was still undefeated. He was y'all respecting these fucking regulars and interim titles. He was an interim title holder when he fought Bud. See y'all coming up with all these character assassinations. It's okay, Ness. You don't want Earl or Danny to fight him. You can come up with all these millions of names, but just say, because I want to protect my first love.
Can we have a conversation,
No.
you and I?
Absolutely.
So, at the time that Bud fought Gamboa, what was your opinion of Gamboa? Your honest opinion?
I liked him. He was a hard puncher, but Mikey ducked him. That's what I was thinking, like, why Mikey didn't fight him. That's the only thing I really, you know what I mean? I knew of him. I saw him.
That's all you knew of him?
No, that's not all I knew of him, but I knew he was that's what I thought of him. You didn't ask me. You asked me what I thought of him, not what I knew of him.
Well, yeah, but I
That's
mean,
two different questions.
No, the reason I added new is because you felt like you didn't mention how chinny he was. You didn't mention how short. You didn't mention how short he was. You didn't mention how short his arms are. You didn't mention how he started at 126. That's a huge difference. That's already what? 2 divisions beneath Bud's original career? Isn't that a lot of disadvantages?
So where did Mikey start?
Mikey, same thing. 120.
What division did Mikey start in?
Listen, Stonebone.
Okay, so hold up. Hold up.
Stonebone, you gotta listen.
You got
No, you don't. No, I don't. That's the problem. Y'all want to put me in that box. I was Errol's friend, and Errol stopped coming on his show because I didn't respect Mikey. So stop saying that.
I'm not talking about Earl. Listen.
So how am I respecting Mikey then? How am I respecting Mikey?
You didn't even let me finish. You cut me off.
Because you cut me off.
Did you respect Mikey when he fought Robert Easter at 135? Did you respect him when he was reigning as a champion? So hold up. So when Gamboa fought Bud, he was at 135. He didn't fight Bud at 147.
Brother,
you know that, right?
I know that.
You know that, right? Yes or no?
Yes, I know that. That is
okay. So you acting like Bud fought him at welterweight. Bud fought him at 135.
That is a
Gamboa was the interim. He was the WBA interim 135 champion when he fought Bud. So come on with all this bullshit. If you made weight and if you an interim champion, you made 135. So Gamboa got knocked
champion
out when he was the interim
now
champion.
we emphasizing interim champion, man. Come on, bro. Stop it, man. Stop. You ain't got to.
I'm not saying that.
You don't got to stoop that low. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious, bro.
I don't. Did he or did he not make the limit when he got in the ring and got knocked out by Crawford?
Bro, listen,
yes
man.
No?
This is the
and
saddest thing,
hold on.
man.
And
this
you
is the
just,
saddest
look,
thing.
thing.
Any logical?
Look,
you don't gotta say last thing. I turned the clock off, bro, because it's hilarious to hear y'all Bud fans. Y'all sound crazy. Like, you gonna sit here and tell us that Gamboa wasn't considered chinny. You gonna sit here and tell us that Gamboa
I didn't say that. When did I say that?
You gonna sit here and tell us that Gamboa is Robert Easter? No, he's not, bro. He's not.
Robert Easter's chinny.
Man, you crazy. So who knocked him out then? So who knocked out Robert Easter? Who's knocked him down?
All right,
Why he ain't been down? Why he ain't been down as many times as Gamboa?
When Bud fought Gamboa, was he undefeated or not?
When Bud fought Gamboa?
When Bud fought Gamboa, was he undefeated or not?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think.
All right, thank you, man. Y'all have a good. Hey, Mario, good job not being in this circle jerk with these rest of these guys, man. They need to all go take a bath. How nasty y'all sound, jerking each other off, hating on Bud.
You can say,
take a bath.
You can
good
make
job,
it.
Mario.
You can
clean
words.
Tonight, baby.
You can use
you
words
tonight,
to make
Mario.
it sound sexual because you ain't got no argument. That's all.
Huh?
You can use words to make it sound sexual because you ain't got no argument. You sit here. The saddest part. Listen. The saddest part in the world is that these Terrence Crawford fans are still talking about a fight from 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Let that shit sink in, man. You ain't got no argument. You talking about a fight from 6 years ago with a dude that started at 126 that already been knocked down maybe 10 times before he stepped in the ring with fucking Bud. The Orlando Salido put him down already. Come on, bruh, man. Get out of here. Like, Jesus Christ. Ohio runs boxing. Talk to me.
All right.
Yo.
That's an all right moment.
Good, y'all.
That definitely is.
Man, y'all going in tonight. This is crazy with this Khan and this Crawford. Listen, man, Khan is almost, to me, he's like Zab. He's like Zab Judah, man. Zab kept getting fights and getting fights. He was known, and he wasn't chinny like Khan. Khan, to me, he definitely get knocked out by almost everybody. When Chris Algieri hurts you, and he's not even known to be a power puncher, bro, that lets you know that Khan doesn't stand a chance with a lot of these upcoming. I don't even think Kovalevskis, he can't even beat Kovalevskis in my opinion. That's just me. Felix Diaz on Crawford's resume is a good win. I don't care what nobody says. He's a gold medalist. He beat Sammy Vargas, and they almost robbed him from that fight. They had to go back and change the card because they almost robbed him of that fight. He was robbed by Lamont Peterson. That was another fight he clearly won on the cards. You know what I mean? So he was robbed on that fight. That's a good win when it comes to Felix Diaz. I don't hear y'all talking about Felix Diaz a lot. And Kovalevskis, I also said before he even fought Crawford, that was going to be the hardest puncher Crawford has ever faced. And I also think Kovalevskis is the harder puncher on Errol Spence's resume. I don't think nobody Errol in space punched harder than Kovalevskis. That's my call. I'm out, guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. We do forget about that Felix Diaz. You want to talk about what fight? See, and that's the argument right there, Ness, that you're not getting is that there's way. Listen, real quick. There are ways. Listen, there are ways to look at fights and fighters on resume. Felix Diaz at the time was a pretty significant win. He was a guy who, he came out of nowhere essentially. Like nobody thought he was on that level, 2 years before that fight happened, and so give him credit.
I don't know, man. I thought Felix Diaz was a 140-pounder.
Yeah, y'all sound like y'all need some real boxing in your life right now because y'all arguing some old-ass Felix Diaz fight.
I'm just saying that, we don't talk. The only point he made, we're not. Nobody's saying
but Mario, that's the problem.
All he said was that people overlooked that fight.
Man, that is the problem. Let's stop talking about his 140-pound career. We don't care. That shit is old. Ain't nobody talking about Danny's 140. They definitely not talking about Danny's 147. They saying at 47, Danny's a bum. He ain't got no win. So why we talking about this motherfucker's 140 career? Like, that shit is over. Why are we still talking about that? Oh, Felix Diaz was a good win. Oh, Gamboa was undefeated. Oh, shoe shine. Let's shuck and jive. Let's do all this dumb shit.
Danny lost at 147? Has Danny lost at 147? Has Danny lost at 147, Ness?
All this dumb shit,
Has
bruh.
Danny lost at 147?
Yes.
Yes. Has Terrence lost at 147 yet?
No.
Okay, so that's the difference.
Who's faced the better opposition at? Who's faced the better opposition at 47? That's the little detail you forgot to say in your little dumbass survey.
I'm just asking.
Hold on. Let me and Doomy get some air. Doomy. Like, for real. Is boxing right now about right now? Or is it about back then? Because I'm a little lost.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you talking about fights in a boxer's career that passes more than like 4 years.
1 year.
I'm giving you.
It's gotta happen.
4 years. Yo, 4 years on the elite level is 8 fights ago. 8 fights ago.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
On the elite level, that's saying that they elite. They only fighting twice a year.
That's it, Mario. It's about right now, the last 12 months,
bruh.
So
I need that soundbite. What have you done for me lately?
Exactly. And you say it yourself, Mario and Ness. Boxing fans are fickle. As well as what have you done for me lately? So this is the case right there. Y'all suffering. Y'all need to quarantine because y'all suffering right now about like what have you done for me lately? And Mario's bringing up 2004, and you know it don't work that way.
Mario
right?
going up to 2010 to defend Khan.
Work that.
And Stone Bone went to 2014.
Nobody. We always skip. The only point he was making was anytime we talk about who like somebody's resume, we always skip over Felix Diaz. That's the only point he was making, and you're putting a lot into. Yeah. You're inferring a lot from that statement. You're trying to make it sound like Felix Diaz is the reason he's pound for pound. Felix Diaz is the reason he should be the A-side of Spence.
I didn't say that. I'm inferring this.
That's kind of how you came at him.
This is what I'm inferring. Listen, this is what I'm inferring. This is what I'm inferring. Let's stop talking about his 140-pound career.
Right.
That's it.
This is what I'm inferring.
He got his credit. He won 2 ESPYs, Fighter of the Year, Ring Magazine belt twice, Undisputed, and he unified. He done that.
We're not arguing Mike Tyson if he was about to come back and fight Fury now.
He done that, right? You know what I'm saying? He done that. I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like, he done that. We talking about what he doing now. Right now,
Khan had it.
Right now, Khan had it once upon a time, and then Danny ended that shit. And he, I highly doubt he was a champion. People say Danny had it. He ain't got it no more.
Right.
But
people
that's the thing. That's the little detail that they forgetting. Yo, Danny lost at welterweight, but he lost to the top. He lost trying to the top.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what Canelo says. You say I got a tight fight because I'm fighting the best? Are you fighting the best? I'm fighting the best. The fight fans consider the best names Crawford, Earl, Danny, Sean, Thurman, Mikey. Those are the names they consider the best. So it looks to me like the PBC side fighting the best. I mean, you got to be a crazy fan to say that those ain't the best names. I'm just saying. And I put it. Crawford could be number 1 if you want him to be. He could be number 1 if you want him to be, but you got to fight the best.
I just have a sneaky feeling that if Brook or Khan was a PBC fighter, you'd give him more credit. I don't know. I just have that sneaky feeling. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Talking about
bro, how much more credit you want? How much more credit you want to give Earl?
I feel like Al gives you this kind of pass that you like to use. Like, well, if he's a good enough fighter for Al, then he's a good enough fighter for me. I'm not saying that's how you feel. I'm just saying how it's
fighter.
Khan is an Al fighter. Khan is an Al fighter.
Khan is a fighter. Khan is an Al fighter.
Okay, but
bro, he's reaching, man. He's reaching. We both know what I'm saying. He's reaching.
But we both know what I'm saying.
So I reach.
You give more because you look at Porter and you give him the credit that you give him in losing efforts. Oh, well, he looked good against Thurman. Oh, he looked good against Spence. But then you don't do the same thing when it would look beneficial for Crawford's side. In fact, you say,
wait.
well, I don't want to hear about that.
So
and that's what
so
you
Crawford
do.
so Crawford lost to
Mikey's
somebody in the top.
There. Mikey's not a PBC fighter.
Give
who
a fuller picture.
Who lost to someone in the top? We can't talk about Crawford. That's again. You trying to be. You want to be friends with them, I guess. You don't want them to.
I don't.
You don't want them to call you ass clown. He doesn't want them to call him ass clown, so he's looking for a way to defend.
J-Mac got on here talking about he's such a Bud fan. He doesn't even want me to defend them. If I'm not going to be all in, look,
he's not going to like you, so you can just stop.
I could have sex with a girl, but just because you ate her butt out means I didn't have sex with her. Like that's J-Mac's fucking representation. That's what he thinks that if you don't cup the balls, that you're not a fan of that fighter. That's not who I am. I'm looking at this.
That's what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to do.
Hell no. Okay, not to him. Ask him and see if that's what I'm doing.
I mean, you
I'm
are.
just giving a full picture.
Quick, Mario, are you saying Ness is not a Terrence Crawford fan?
That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that
one quick sentence with a period at the end. Don't know commas.
He don't know how to not to be long-winded.
Let me, Enrique. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
What are you relating Ness to in Terrence Crawford with a period at the end? No commas. Let's go.
Ness is misrepresenting his feelings on Bud, and I am trying to give him the opportunity to make it better. That's it.
All right. So Ness is misrepresenting his opinion on Bud. Yeah. Ness, what's your opinion on Bud? With a period at the end.
He is one of the elite level fighters in boxing.
Period. And now one more sentence because I feel like you got to represent what you want to say. What elite? Follow that.
Nah, he's one of the elite level fighters in boxing.
Now, can I give you something that Ness has said?
Real quick though, in the sentence, because this is back and forth with commas.
No, you're right. So this is where my sent comes from. Yesterday, he said that Crawford isn't even ready for Spence from a commercial level. That the fight isn't ready. That Terrence should be the B-side. So
commercial meaning business.
Yeah, like the fight's not ready because he's not at Spence's level commercially.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's incredibly ridiculous.
Because you're not using numbers, obviously. Obviously, he's not using numbers, and that's where I have to
using logic.
I gotta leave the conversation because they don't like to use numbers.
No, so commercially, Mario, right? There is some other options out there.
Sure.
So for only one guy.
Who's that one guy?
For Earl. Obviously, Earl got more options than Bud.
Right. No, but now Terrence Crawford's commercial because they don't want to do business with the PBC, and now what is that, Mario, about? Like where else can Spence, not Spence, but Crawford go?
I don't think he can. I don't think he does.
Commercially, where else could he go?
Kell Brook. That's why we're talking about.
In my opinion, Brook's the only one left. In my opinion,
not Spence, not Danny, not Thurman.
Well, of course, but you said non-PBC though.
No,
you said.
Oh, I didn't know that I said non-PBC. I'm just trying to figure out, like, commercially, Ness is saying, so non-PBC is where?
Why non-PBC?
No, because
Eddie Hearn offers the PBC fighters all day.
Mario's calling you a PBC guy. So
Eddie Hearn sends offers the PBC guys all day. All day.
So where else does Terrence Crawford's management take him bigger than Kell Brook?
I told you already, Broner.
So that don't mean you don't like Terrence Crawford.
Exactly. I'm trying to get him the right position, but whatever.
How about you, Dewey? Like, what you think?
That's not.
Commercially.
I mean, commercially, I could agree that in American soil, you know what I'm saying. AB would make AB and Terrence would make a theatrical.
Non-PBC in mind.
Non-PBC.
Mario.
Thing is that
Brook.
This is so misleading. Like it makes it sound like it's like dude. Like we're having such a. I mean, it's Brook. The answer's Brook.
Tulani Minge.
But my point is that it's not that Al Heyman agreeer.
Sebastian Formella.
It's the fighters that they don't exist that are not PBC.
Yo, but don't forget Sebastian.
Right.
Don't forget for Sebastian Formella.
You know what I'll say? I will hold it against Spence more if he doesn't have Crawford on his record than I will Crawford Spence. Right now, that's how I feel.
One caller, I bet you.
That statement is so irrelevant. Like, that fight is going to happen.
Okay, I can't just say my opinion. Like, that's what the show's
No,
for.
I know, I hear you,
that's
but
how I feel.
it's still irrelevant. That's like all the people that was like making Chicken Mayweather.
Why? Because they're going to fight for sure?
Of course.
Okay, good.
You don't think that? Wait.
Too.
Damn, you haven't been in boxing long enough to know that they're gonna fight? You don't think they'll fight?
Oh, I've been in boxing long enough to know that people have crazy opinions, and you have not. You've definitely been one of them. So I asked you a simple fact: does this fight happen? You said yes. That's why my point is irrelevant. I agree.
So. I don't think this is Bo and who was it? Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis days. This is not that. You know, money exists these days. There is money, and boxing is not such in the dark as it used to be. So, you know, these fighters aren't getting jerked. You know, Terrence is an elite level fighter with an elite, you know, a premier boxing promoter and manager. You know, his trainer is also a manager. You know, I mean, Earl, same thing. He's with a very known advisor, and this fight is gonna happen.
Like, sure it does.
It's sure it does.
That's again. That's why when I tell you you're gonna be the biggest Bud fan in 3 to 5 years, I'm that's what I'm trying to say is it's gonna happen.
Listen,
these fights are gonna happen, and Bud's gonna be at the top, and you're gonna be a fan of his. And there's nothing wrong with it. It takes a grown ass man, a mature man, to admit, yo, I did not see the greatness in Canelo. I did not see the greatness in Canelo, and now I see the greatness in Canelo, and that's gonna happen with Bud. So I'm not tripping.
Bro,
on you at all.
The bottom line is this: if he wants to fight faster, he has to do the same thing that Eddie Hearn told Wilder to do: raise your profile.
Well, to fight fans,
and at that time,
nothing's fast enough.
And at that time, you know, Wilder fans, we were upset. We were upset. We like, what? Raise your profile? Like, what? He got the WBC. What? You should want that belt. What? But after a while, we had to just face reality. Like, yo, all right, he's right. AJ could just go sell out Wembley with Povetkin. He could just go fight Takam with Povetkin. You know, he could just do whatever he wants. You're right. All right, we're gonna raise our profile. We're gonna knock out Luis Ortiz. We're gonna go ahead and do this pay-per-view with Tyson Fury. We're gonna go ahead and knock out Brazil. We're gonna knock out Lewis again. We raised our profile. We got trending to this day.
That's why
we did a television series. You know, we got on Real Housewives with Atlanta.
I know, but
you know what I'm saying? Like, my man raised this profile. His Instagram numbers speak for themselves. His ratings speak for themselves. His pay-per-views speak for themselves. These equations do not follow to the same fighter. They don't. But these fans are so crazy.
Out of curiosity, what is Bud's following on IG?
Man, you check.
Mario, I thought you would know, but okay.
Man, you know, I don't.
Is it in the millions?
Nah.
Is it? No, it's definitely not in the millions.
Nah. Maybe $500,000.
What I'll take from this argument is that, damn, who's Chris Javier?
He has 574,000 followers.
What I take?
That's good. That's 574.
No, that's great. But he just said that he asked if there was millions.
574.
Yeah, 574.
That's good. That's good. What Earl got? I think he might have more than Earl, unless Earl's in 620, right? I don't know.
Earl, the truth.
But I'm about to hit y'all with the
638.
Oh, really? But let me hit you with the killer now. Haney got 680. Haney got 680. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Haney.
Devin is on Laney.
I mean, that doesn't mean much, but that does say that he's up there.
Man,
and he
that don't
deserves
mean
more.
much, man. We in the same. We in the same. We in the same field. It do mean something when it's lower. Man, I can't keep because it comes off like I'm a hater because I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying?
But
I can't be the only guy that continuously tell the truth. But like, How is that not some sort of indication? Everyone in the world thinks, hold on, Mario. Everyone in the world thinks you pound for pound. Everyone in the world thinks you good. Everyone in the world, quote unquote, wants the Earl fight. But your number's less than everyone in the world? Come on, bruh.
I ain't even gonna concentrate on these Insta numbers too much.
But it's not just Insta, it's pay-per-view too.
Yeah, that's how you make me a believer when you start talking about the ratings and the people.
No, ratings, he's good. Ratings, he might be better than anybody in terms of consistency. I think it's always around like the high threes, millions, or 2-point-somethings if we Google it, right? Like he does good ratings, but not pay-per-view.
Look, that's where I was going with it, is that I'm not trying to say that, Haney understands social media better than these guys, but Haney grew up in that era. Look, dude, he's probably had his Instagram since he was like 7 years old. Like,
man, knock it off,
who knows
bro.
how many followers he had before?
You know what? You know what's worse?
I'm just saying, listen.
You know what's worse?
Spence
You're right.
Instagram
started how many years ago? So when it started, Haney was a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what's worse. So someone had a head start.
Yeah, but somebody also, I mean, listen. Who
You
do you
was
think's
on
gonna
Instagram
understand
first,
computers
bro. You
better?
was there
Your kid-
first.
Who's gonna understand electronics better? You or your kids? Your kids, man. They grew up with it first rate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so all I'm saying is that Haney, that we don't know what those numbers really truly indicate, because there are plenty of people.
We know what those numbers indicate.
They don't even have Instagram. So
let me tell you what those numbers indicate in boxing. Ryan Garcia was able to get a whole new deal with Golden Boy because of those numbers. Ryan Garcia was able to use that as a stronghold on John Skipper and say, show my numbers, and get a whole new deal structured.
But just like Doomy said,
and he was talking Instagram directly, Instagram numbers. He was talking directly. We got our first little piece of evidence right there.
Let him sell makeup like an influencer. Terrific. But when we're talking about numbers and what boxers do, that's the ultimate indicator. And that's what Doomy is saying, is that at the end of the day, tell me what happens when they fight on TV and what kind of ratings they get. Because at this point, you're absolutely right. That's something. That's a starting point. But when you're Ryan Garcia, what would you rather have? Millions of Instagram people or millions of pay-per-view buys? Do they translate to one another? I don't know. We'll see. This is unprecedented. Like, these are unprecedented times.
But again, if we stick to the topic, or at least the people that we want to fight,
that's what it is. Instagram
Crawford's numbers haven't been
translated in Ness's book over to the other pay-per-view numbers. Errol's is, all these other guys, their social media status translates into what the numbers are showing.
Yeah.
And my man got the illest, marketing promotional team, if not the best one. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank is a machine, and they've given him everything. They put him on everything, I believe. I don't know if he's been in the WWE yet, but he's been put out there, pushed, and
who?
Crawford. I don't know if he's ever been in the WWE or anything like that.
No.
But what I'm saying, he's been pushed hard, and still, in the
and that's crazy because
bro, they just aired two of his fights. They just aired two of his fights right now when they know it's downtime to keep his name buzzing. Like, they be trying. They did 2 pay-per-views. After the first one only did 50,000, they still went and did another one with Khan. But that's what I'm saying. See, you got guys like Mario, and maybe one day Bob was listening to that show and believed that Mario was whatever bullshit Mario was talking about Khan, and put him in that fight. That fight did nothing for him. It did nothing. You know what I mean?
I like how Doomy mentioned the WWE.
Made him
As
money.
soon as Tyson signed, he was everywhere.
Yeah, but
Fury
Tyson's different,
getting
man.
everywhere.
Tyson's
Crawford
different, man. Come on, man.
interviews, but he ain't
Tyson's different. Let's not act like, we don't know about the big ass elephant in the room. Tyson is different.
I mean, it was before the elephant entered the room, in my opinion, if you're speaking about the same elephant.
I don't know.
It's the pink one?
I'm talking about the white one.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
The pink
You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. Look, don't get me wrong. I know Floyd was on WrestleMania, but look, Fury got the ultimate push. Fury,
he got the big boy.
But at the same time, Fury, Bob did release some shit. Fury paid for his own ring walks too. He was paid like 50,000, 60,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to pay to get that I don't know, that pizzazz, you know what I mean? Have that, you know what I mean? But whatever, man. Let's go back out to these callers. Let me see who I left out here. We went to
we got another month of quarantine, guys. I know you heard, but New York City, New Jersey, it ain't over till April 30th. So we will be home. File for your unemployment insurance and your deferred mortgage. Take advantage of the money you got in the bank right now. Keep that shit. Don't spend it. It is like using your sick days. And when you get back to work and you really sick, you ran out of that shit. So let's not play.
Yeah, man.
Chill.
All
right.
Let me go to Boomerang Stainless. Talk to me.
At work, yeah, I didn't really get to touch on them topics. With the Mike Tyson thing, man, he's still a hater, bro. I don't care what y'all say. I mean, you come in at the last minute, and Ness is right. Going back and watching that footage, because I watched the whole interview he did with Fat Joe. He wasn't talking like he was trying to support Wilder. He was like, oh, well, you know, he looked like he was scared in the last fight. If he can get all, he didn't need to fight confidence. Yeah, he could have a chance of winning. Like people are really over exaggerating that title. Like on the real with that. With the Bud, man, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So if y'all ain't on the fan side of the table, it's all good, man. That's how you win fans over, man. But as you can see, it's loud in here. I'm still at work, so fellas, carry on. Great show. And Doomy, I heard you say you got him. Mario, I heard you say you got him. Make sure y'all put them videos of them push-ups, man. It's the Wednesday workout challenge. You know, Doomy, you already in there for sure. Mario, I don't think we friends on Skype, man, but send me a friend request. We'll add you too. As always, say, please make sure you push
That's
thumbs
mine
up.
anyway, so
I'm about to do it up.
Yeah, I hear a lot of talking over there. I don't want to challenge you, though, man. I don't want you to disappear on me because I made you do some push-ups. No, I just bullshit. No, y'all take it easy, though, man. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Yo, damn. I don't think that Bud is the horse that you could take to the. I think it's his team. He has a team around him. He makes none of the decisions, I believe. And you know, of course, he would love to fight Danny Garcia. He, in his mind, he sees himself beating Porter, Garcia, all of them. Bob Arum, Godfather, is not giving him those fights. That's to me, and that is the elephant in the room that Ness was talking about. Mario.
Yeah. Sure. No, I hear where he's coming from, and again, I see it. To me, I think it's just like one of those things that'll. We're not going to prove any of our points until these guys prove our points for us. You know what I'm saying? So like, we can't belittle anyone's idea. I mean, you could do it to me. I don't care. But you know, I would never say like someone's like. I'm not saying this is wrong. You know, I'm just saying what I'm hearing. And sometimes I disagree, but shit, he could be right. I mean, look, we don't know until these guys fight. We don't know until we see these matchups. Like I was saying the other day, man, I swear I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be scary as hell when science can like clone our brains and DNA and stuff like that, right? But it is also going to be cool, like, you know, if they ever get to that point, we could see these old fights and how they would really go. I mean, I don't know. I was just thinking about it from like a story point of view. Like a screenplay type thing, because you know why I was thinking of that though, Doomy? Because you had brought up the fights that were happening on the E. And that's cool. I've been following it. I like it a lot, man. I think Tyson won the whole thing. He beat Ali. He got knocked down. He came up and he won a decision. Yeah, man. So it was cool, you know. And there's simulations of what we have, but I think like one day those simulations could basically be like. You know, exact replica. Status. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Some Rick and Morty stuff right now. So, but,
yo, you know. I put a link in the pre-pro. Insane. I don't get Billy Joe Saunders. Bro.
Oh yeah, I seen this earlier, man. He's a wacko, man.
But what's up with him? Why he's always doing like he's always doing like stuff on his Instagram with cocaine heads. You know, with hookers.
Bro, he must have grew up a little rough on a whole nother side. My man needs some therapy, bro.
Bro, my man tweeted his cock one time, bro. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
He's crazy, bro. And now he's showing you how to beat your girl. I don't even understand how. Like, I guess boxing is so different than every other sport, bro. Like,
no, it's not.
If he was an NFL player, he would be fired, right? Like,
well, we know
he's literally in front of a heavy bag, telling you how to beat your girl up because you're frustrated during this time in quarantine.
Yeah, no.
That shit is crazy, bro.
You're generalizing. You can't say.
No, that's what I just watched the video. That's what he said.
No, that part is true, but you said boxing
bro. He got
is
no
different.
class, man.
No, Billy Joe Saunders always.
Yeah, boxing is different because I feel like, look at what happened to Pulev. He straight up grabbed a female reporter, stole a kiss, and he waiting to get a title shot with Anthony Joshua. He about to unify.
And there's fighters that test positive, get suspended, a slap on the wrist, and come right back and get paydays. Yeah, boxing is different. But everybody's not Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders is his own personality. You've seen him like fake pull over people and pull his penis out.
He crazy.
He's just that kind of dude, and I can't wait to see him fight.
I just don't get what I'm saying is.
Kind of dude that
but what I'm saying is,
people.
Yeah, bro. What I'm saying is, boxing is different because an NFL team, an NBA team, they would be scared to touch him.
Yep.
And like he
It's
signed.
a franchise.
He signed.
But
like
I've been saying that since we had Alicia Bumgardner on. You know, we had this whole like Me Too movement that boxing just completely missed. You know, boxing is usually a step or two behind the times. So you're right.
I don't know.
I don't even know how that's a joke though.
Or it's just a careless, you know.
But tell me, what audience is he pandering to?
Like, no, bro, it's good. There's no such thing as bad media.
No,
you know
how
like,
isn't there bad media, bro? How isn't you don't have a sister or a girlfriend or a mother? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? My man is talking about.
Beating your girl.
And he's talking about explosive punches. And then you got to see how he's actually punching the back. Like, he would really cold knock out a girl the way that he's. Like, obviously, he's doing this to get a reaction. But my thing is, everyone else, his manager, his promoter, like, his PR person, like no one ever is going to get a handle on my man?
Do you want to see him get knocked out?
Is he the white version of Broner? Nah, cause he ain't lost yet. He ain't lost yet. He ain't lost yet.
Listen.
Broner was on that way.
I mean, Broner wasn't out here showing his. I mean, well, yeah, he did do a fucking porno too.
Yeah, he ate.
Look, the worst thing.
And he ate a stripper out. Broner crazy too.
Listen, the reason most non-sports fans don't watch boxing, that they give me, too violent. That when I say, oh, you watch MMA, you watch boxing, too violent. That's what they say. So when somebody comes out and misrepresents us like this, you know, he's doing this to all of boxing. Like, I have to put up with this. Y'all are going to have to put up with this. People listening are going to have to put up with this. I mean, I'm not saying everybody's going to hear about it. A lot of people probably won't. But, you know, for this thing to gain any more steam, like, it just points us in a bad look. And the NFL understands that. The NBA understands that. So they, you know, they will stay away from guys that are considered controversial. You know, unless you play for the Cowboys, we'll take you, bro. We'll take you. Come on,
bro. Look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that he's not telling, you know, you to really go and beat your girl up. It's just that the humor, it's just not the time, Billy. Billy, your timing is full.
But what do you mean time, dog? What do you mean time? When is it the right time to beat your girl up?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Again, nobody's condoning. Nobody's wants. You know, come on. Let's get it real here. You see the video. You saw what he said. I don't know if you read or heard.
I played it.
And well, I read and heard it. So when you start seeing what he said and heard and the way he's acting, he's a fucking clown. You said it yourself. He's doing videos with crackheads running by them, and he's just a very dopey, weird guy sometimes. And his timing sucked. But again, this shit right here, they're talking about him, man. He's fucking everywhere with this shit.
I don't know.
So it's like, yo, I don't know if it's well planned from their PR team. Like, yeah, this is
well planned. What you mean well planned? What? This is what I'm saying. This is why I keep interrupting y'all. Why do you keep like saying things like, oh, this is just bad humor. Bro, there's nothing humorous.
Yeah,
and
it
there
ain't
should
humorous.
and there should be nothing premeditatedly planned about beating a woman. That makes no sense.
Exactly. He probably just turned the cameras on.
This isn't a PR stunt. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck
they
are
ain't
you
no stunt.
talking
No,
about?
it's not his PR team. I'm saying to him. It's his stunt.
Yeah, but you're like him and
It
his
was
PR,
his stunt
and I'm like,
when he
what?
threw a chicken wing at Wilder. It was his stunt. This is what he does, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying how if this was NFL or NBA, he would be
Yeah.
He's Victor Cruz, champ. He's like
He
they
would
not
be
fucking
labeled
with
a
you.
womanizer, also a racist. So misogynistic racist is what he is right now in the
And he
eyes
calls
of many.
Wilder a racist too. So it's like
In the eyes of many, he's what's the word, Mario? Misogynistic.
But you're saying
And
racist why? Because of the chicken?
the chicken, throwing it at a black person, the beating of a bag, mentioning a woman. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people.
Yeah, bro, he trippy as fuck, man.
It ain't trippy. Trippy is cool.
No, not trippy red cool. I'm talking about he's trippy like he's a little fucked up in the head, man.
Nah, he's not even.
He takes. You know, I don't know. To me,
I mean, listen, I would prefer to believe that be the case and not that he's just like this giant piece of crap because, you know, people
Bro,
that say
but
that
every
are also
time he
big giant
does
pieces of crap.
something, they make him apologize. So like,
yeah,
you know, he did
He's
the,
gonna-
he
you're gonna
did
see
the
him, right?
crackhead shit. He did the crackhead shit.
You
They
know,
made him
I
apologize.
understand Enrique's question now a little better. Do we want to see him get knocked out? Like at first I was like, well, I mean, but now I get more where you.
Not only that, bro, his son kicked Willie Monroe in the dick, bro. That was not cool.
On some racist shit.
And
I remember that.
And they was
forgot all
yo
about that
Willie
till now.
Monroe. We interviewed him and he said they called him all types of names out there, man. So
Yeah, he's racist. So, but do we want to see him get knocked out without a payday? Because I actually don't care.
No. But see, that's your point. No, that's your point that lines up with Doomy. That's what I'm saying. That's where it was going with you. Is that like, is this just smart? Now he's just gonna get millions of people that want to see him
Smart?
get knocked out. Well, like in the sense of like he said, no press. is
hell
bad
no,
press.
because this
Obviously,
they
it was
buried this. They
stupid
buried
shit.
this. They
That's
buried
true.
this.
That's true.
They're saying,
Well, for now it did, but
bro,
shit,
I
when,
didn't
you know,
see ESPN report on this boxing scene. I didn't see them report
Bro,
on it.
Listen,
Let me tell you this.
and I'll bet you they'll cover that shit on.
They
gonna
buried
say
this
again
shit.
a different way. I'm gonna say this a different way. And again, for those out there that are gonna try to fucking bite at my heels saying that I'm condoning this, I'm not. But would it have been different if you had, let's say, a female boxer talking about how she would beat up, her husband, and where do we start, putting the line where you can joke this way, but I can't joke that way, what I'm
Bruh,
saying?
not when you a public figure. Not
That's
when you a public
whole
figure.
Other show, I think.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
Catch
come
us
on,
on
Doomy. No, I
Untitled,
get
man.
where
We
Doomy's
going
going
too
with
long.
this.
Let me get to these boomerangs. We going way too long. Y'all gonna have to go into Untitled for all that. We went to Stainless Intrigue Boomerang.
Write that down.
Yeah. Hello.
Yep.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Nah, I got a little conspiracy thing, man. It's totally off topic on the Deontay Wilder. But Wilder went to Italy, right, in December, right, for the meet the Pope. And then when he came back, like 2 weeks later, he had the flu, right, because he had missed that first Fury press conference. Ain't nobody talking about, like, possibly Wilder could have had coronavirus. I know I'm just throwing that out there, but I mean it's real.
The symptoms don't last that long, though, champ. Like they said it's
it
like
didn't.
31% beatable, right? So if he beat it, he beats it within 2 weeks.
Yeah, you beat it, but you still don't be 100% after it, Ness.
Yeah,
I mean, it ain't
but you
maybe he had it.
But listen, but you would have noticed that because he went to Rome right before he started training camp, not during training camp.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So he went to Rome. He contracted the virus. He
I didn't think of it that way.
He fought the virus out. He started training camp. he would have felt it like, yo, I'm not right. I'm still fucked up from whatever I got, because they didn't know what they had. According to you, you want to tie it the yo, please, yo, oh my God, it's too late. You know what? You killed us. It's over. They already call us the Wilder Voice. Now they just gonna say that you was one of our correspondents. You are our Atlanta correspondent, and you said Wilder had the motherfucking coronavirus to make another excuse. So because he lost. I'm telling you, that's how they gonna paint it out. That's how they gonna paint it out.
Watch.
I already know.
Local Atlanta correspondent today suggests that the Boxing Voice believes Deontay contracted the virus first
and lost.
That's hilarious.
Yo,
and then lost. Yeah.
J-Back, Boomerang.
Yo, can you hear me?
Whoa.
Yo,
Mac sound like you rolling down the hill in a haystack.
He inside the paper bag of chips or something. Yo, you gotta take your Bluetooth off.
That shit sounded just like that.
It did, right?
Can y'all hear me?
Now, yes, perfectly, perfect.
Hey, look, I done lost my energy tonight. I ain't got the energy to go back with Ness and Three Stooges and shit like that. So I'll give my call to Stonebone.
Nah, you already used 45 seconds of your call. Somebody you giving your call to somebody.
I'm giving my call to Stonebone because I'm on his Stonebone finish bodying y'all. That's my call.
You must be talking about a counter punch or something.
That was
Stonebone walking around with body bags out here.
J-Mac out of the bag.
Stonebone got a body. He caught a body by bringing up Gamboa from 2014.
Oh, the old Gamboa.
That's what they call bodies.
Tiny Tim
Bruh. Yo, they gonna hate you now. They gonna hate you for calling him Tiny Tim. T-Rex arms. T-Rex arms.
My arms too short to box with God Gamboa. Get out of here.
That ain't funny.
Yo, they called this the Three Stooges. Yo, that shit.
He called me
He
said Three Stooges. Like, who's
you know what's
Curly?
so funny too? And then he
I'll be
Larry. The dude that was like, making the same point. Like, I'm not even gonna get into it. Like, Doomy made some of the same points that Stone Bone made. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. J Mac.
I told you they don't.
I love
J
J-Mac.
Mac. Listening to the show, he doing something.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Coach.
He wasn't listening.
I think he a basketball coach. He probably coaching a team right now or something.
Yeah. That's probably not his fault.
You know, he just like, it's my call. Let me just go in on Ness.
Hold up, at 11 p.m. What time is it?
He coaching while he in the Ruffles.
I mean, yo, he got champions, man. He probably got him at the foul line for like hours right now. Get that shot.
Man, they on pause right now. Ain't nobody on foul line.
That's right. Yo, I be forgetting, man, because you know I work from home all the time. So like for me, it ain't really nothing.
Until you go to like motherfucking Sonic.
Nah, it's just like what I hate. What reminds me is no movies. You know, I do movies a lot. I ain't even had to cancel. They canceled us. They like, yo, Movie Pass shut down till further notice. I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn.
I forgot what I did today. Oh, I ordered, you know I'm vegan now. I ordered crabs from this place called Hook and Reel. Oof, $100 on three lobster tails, one order king crab. I was like, the fuck? This shit wasn't even, like, we ate that in like 3 minutes. One round.
Yeah, man. Seafood don't really fill you up, man. That's just like, you know what I'm
they
saying?
give you potatoes and shit.
But look, man, we gonna do all this on Untitled tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be back with the morning show, obviously, in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Nes GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us mañana. Yeah.
That's all the callers?
Yeah, no, everybody. That's it. There's no more boomerangs.
Okay. Real quick before we give our outros, let me just give y'all some real quick information. Tomorrow morning we have Edgar Hasso, aka
Estrellita. He's Abner Mars' new trainer.
That's right. We talked
him and Manny. He's with Edgar. Manny.
And we also have Lorenio Sosa, right?
What?
It just says Sosa on my thing. Who do we have on at 10?
What?
Sosa.
Yo, what are you
10
talking?
o'clock.
Oh, he said. Oh, you didn't pronounce it right. Ariano.
Yeah.
Oh,
fake Latino, fake Latino. Nah, I'm joking. No, because for me, because for me it's super hard too to pronounce certain last names. But
yeah, for me too.
But his name is Arellano Sosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
got. And then we have Travell Maison interview for Tuesday.
Black
at
Magic.
9:30 a.m. We have super prospect or amateur, I guess, Keyshawn Davis interview at 10 a.m.
Yes, Olympian.
Well,
should be turning
we'll see,
pro. Gonna be interesting to see who he goes with.
Our first show of April, which is April Fool's, Wednesday, April 1st, Devin Haney
Big
on
show.
at 7:30 p.m.
We don't got nothing in the morning?
We don't got nothing in the morning. We don't have anything in the morning as of yet. Maybe you sent me something and I haven't seen
bro,
it.
you crazy? It's there. Troy Isley, who signed to James Prince, and Robert Brandt, you know what I'm saying, who's working with Bo McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's the crazy part,
Those are just
a
few of the interviews we got.
Bo Mac comes on the show. Rob Brandt, who trains with Bo Mac, comes on the show. Jamel Herring, who's a champ who trains with Bo Mac, comes on the show. Everybody, but yo, Stonebone, why you don't just help us? Word up, you know that's your man's and
You know, we bust his chops a little bit here and there, man. But we got nothing but respect for the skills, bro.
Nah, man, super skilled fighter. Just want.
Yo, we just being fans right now, like first row though.
Yo, though, I said my outro. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm trying to eat, B.
At
4-hour show right here.
At Maury McGee on Twitter. Peace.
With that written freestyle.
Oh,
yeah, man. I wanted to record
it ain't Friday though. So we out. Peace.
Yeah. No, Friday we ain't do that though.
Yeah, he spit it Friday. He was supposed to record it
to show y'all what I was gonna do.
It got to be written.
Oh, wasn't gonna be a freestyle. I was gonna do a song.
Oh,
but he said he was gonna record. He said if y'all like, I'm gonna record it. So he faked it. All he did was make one bar. All you did was do one bar. Peace. I gotta go. I'm eating, man. I'm eating.
All right,
yo, catch me on that.